Friday will be dangerous.
We could see wind gusts above 50 miles an hour, and that's going to make any snow that we have blow and cause visibilities near zero times. So basically blizzard-like conditions at times.
Michael Kosh with the National Weather Service. He says those wind speeds will mostly be in central Indiana, but the rest of the state should be prepared too. The northwest corner of Indiana is under a blizzard warning. The Greenwood Park Mall shooter's laptop was blown up, and he dunked his cell phone in the toilet before the July shooting. Chris Davis reports on what cops have been able to find out.
There is no clear motive as to why the shooter committed this crime or why he chose the time and place to do it.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen says it could take years to find the right combo to unlock the cell phone. But a search of Jonathan Sapirman's subreddits show he had a fascination with mass shooters. That kind of activity even led to an anonymous tip to the FBI in 2019, but that went nowhere. Eisen says the ex-girlfriend seemed to be one of the few who actually had a clue.
She informed investigators that the shooter was abusive towards her on several occasions and once even stuck a gun in her mouth during an argument.
Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
480 pounds of meth and 17 pounds of fentanyl are off the streets in an interstate drug bust. Local and federal police say that a dozen men were arrested last week for an operation to smuggle drugs from Nebraska to sell them in Indianapolis. DEA agents also took 28 guns from various stash houses, and the men kept around the north side of Indy. It's been a difficult year for the Indianapolis Colts.
Been really put through the test this year with all the different changes. And
new Colts starting quarterback Nick Foles. He was named a starter today by interim head coach Jeff Saturday. The Colts will play the Chargers Monday with their third different starting quarterback this season. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, it is a crash southbound 69 on the ramp to I-465. The ramp was closed. It is now open, but man, is it tricky. I'm looking at it on the NDOT jam cam. It's a tough exit. And the right lane is currently blocked, but you can make that exit. It's just slow. Traffic backed up to 96th Street. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Some light rain to start Thursday, then snow through the evening. Very cold with overnight lows sub-zero. 3 to 6 inches on the ground early Friday morning with lows in the lower single digits. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Hey now, my name is Nigel. Tony Kennett from the Daily Signal joining us here, filling in for Jason Hammer. The Biden administration has done it. They've admitted it. They've said what we've been saying for years. There's going to be an increase in border crossings.
Whoa.
When Title 42 ends, Title 42, of course, the protocols put in place by Trump. COVID hit, kept out, and immediately deported illegal immigrants. But yeah, it's getting ready to end. And even Biden and the administration is now saying, well, look, we're going to ask the Supreme Court for more time to phase this out. So they do want to phase it out. They do want to say, it's been years since we've been talking about the crisis at the border, but it's only been since the midterm elections, Tony Kennett, that the mainstream corporate media has been talking about it. Of course, my theory is that they didn't want to make the Democrats and Joe Biden look bad. ahead of the midterms. They didn't want to they wanted to whistle past the graveyard up until that, and now they're actually doing their jobs and covering what a disaster it is on the southern border, especially in places like El Paso.
And it's one of those things that really aggravates you when you remember that through the entire Trump administration, he was lambasted over and over for kids in cages and just the sheer horror down at the border. How could someone be so insensitive when there are thousands flowing across the border into the United States, many of whom have told media that will come up and ask them, have you spoke to any border officials since you've been in the country? No, we just came right in and we're just flooding into the country. Citizens and communities on our southern border are so overwhelmed, even Democrat mayors are declaring states of emergency for their communities.
Did it in New York. They have doofus mayor. Like when, who was it? Was it DeSantis that sent the bus load of migrants to?
Abbott sent the bus load to New York. Or plane loads, and then DeSantis sent a plane load into Martha's Vineyard.
And they were like, whoa.
Call the National Guard.
Couple thousand? What, even Washington, D.C., that the mayor there was who was the mayor? The Bowser?
Yeah, Bowser.
Like I mean,
we who have voted to be a sanctuary city, we who are going to preen and posture.
They all love sanctuary cities. They all call for universal health care
until
free health care for illegals.
Time to be a sanctuary city.
Tony, the biggest example I could come up with is last week or the week before, Gavin Newsom from California, who months ago was calling for free health care for all that come to California legally or illegally. Now he's down at the border singing a different tune. Now he's requesting funds from the Biden administration. Now he's criticizing the Biden administration for busing loads of illegal immigrants, when before it was just DeSantis and it was just Abbott.
During the 2020 election, I was promised that we were going to get what's called smart border security. There were going to be drones and we were going to have like this really high tech. We didn't need a wall. We didn't need to reform the border systems. We didn't need to supply all of our customs enforcement agency centers. What we really needed was this cool, smart, and they kind of painted some really cool utopian vision of the border. What have they been doing for the last couple of years? Where's all of this really incredible border 2.0 stuff?
I mean, for God's sake, in his first 100 days, Biden wanted to halt deportations, stop the border wall. He's using all the woke tools in his arsenal to make sure as many illegals cross the border as possible. Ending Title 42. I know he's asking of the Supreme Court for more time, but they want to get rid of Title 42.
Well, it's a COVID measure.
Yeah, of course. There needs to be a plan to replace Title 42, this health protocol. He's doing everything he can to end the Remain in Mexico policy. Rolled back ICE immigrations enforcement. He's cutting funding for border security, and he's done everything he can.
He's cutting funding for some kinds of border spending, but we'll get to that later in the show.
Exactly. We'll get to that in just a second. But this Biden request, the administration, you remember Chief Justice, it was Roberts that halted a lower court's decision that ordered the Biden administration to wind down Title 42 by today.
Right.
So now the Department of Justice and the Biden administration is asking more time to wind down that program, all but admitting and realizing, this was a bad idea. But you're right, they don't have a plan in place.
And this plan that they don't even have in place is not just affecting the migrants at the border. It's not just affecting people. Sometimes I think that people in the Midwest think of the border as just some abstract concept. They don't realize that these communities, they do not have the infrastructure. They don't have the resources to hold that many people. I mean, literally the basic necessities. People that do want to help. I'm part of a lot of different groups on social media that are Christian groups that do a lot of charity towards these areas that really go into these communities that migrants have flowed into. They said, we are overbooked at capacity. We're literally like taking basically some of the clothes off of our backs to hand to people. There's just so many, even we coming down from neighboring states, we can't even begin to help a fraction of these people that are being allowed to stream into the country.
And some of them are being trafficked. Let's not forget.
Some of them, there are some large margin.
Large margin are being trafficked, but don't worry about it, though. The ones that aren't being trafficked, the White House says people just can't walk right in. The White House has said this. In fact, I got audio right now. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
Oh, she's KJP. So stunning and brave.
I want you to listen to this clip. This is her either yesterday or the day before, talking about how, people just can't walk right in to the country? Are you kidding me? And then right after she says that is a clip of MSNBC reporter reporting from the border.
It is not that simple. It's not just that people are walking across the border.
We were even able to see, as of last night, a lot of migrants just crossing, and migrants I spoke to this morning saying they haven't had any interaction with U.S. immigration authorities. They just walked right in.
It's an amazing clip. The White House press secretary, it's not as easy as just walking right in, cut to MSNBC of all corporate outlets.
Where the former press secretary of the White House went to go and work, and now they're reporting people are just walking in. And you mentioned trafficking earlier. It's not just that as awful as it is already, and it's really horrible that children in the sex trafficking trade from the South and Central America makes my blood boil, but also the hundreds of millions of doses of fentanyl that are pouring across the border as well. This is not just a national security threat. People on the left want to talk about humanitarian crises. This is a picture-perfect example of a humanitarian crisis.
Meanwhile, it doesn't seem to be any plan to strengthen and uphold our southern border.
No.
We do have a plan to send $400 million for border security to Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, among other places.
Yeah, Tunisia is one of those. It's like, yes, when I woke up this morning and I looked at the National Review and I flipped over to the foreign policy section, I was concerned about one thing and one thing alone: our relationship with Mexico, Central and South American countries as we face the migrant crisis. I am not a foreign policy expert, so I know this is shocking. I do some reading on it. You know what border I'm not concerned with? Tunisia. I do not care about Egypt's border security problems. That is not any way, shape, or form going to affect how the day-to-day American lives.
Again, no plan for the southern border. As many as 14,000 migrants waiting in Tijuana to rush the southern border as soon as they can when some of these policies end. Meanwhile, we're spending $1.7 trillion. This omnibus spending bill, this year-end spending bill they're trying to shove through before the end of the year so everybody can go home and celebrate Christmas. $400 million of that used for border security in Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, like you mentioned. Some other places. $150 million is being used to help Jordan alone. Mm-hmm. And the big spender, boy, number one, takes the cake, $45 billion in military aid to Ukraine.
And this isn't just like fresh tax dollars from your pocket to Ukraine. We are bleeding our national ammunition and fuel reserves for our military dry. Experts are now warning that we are reaching precipitously low, dangerously low levels of ammunition storage. You can't just crank that off in the day in a factory. That takes years to replenish and to restock. At a time when China is threatening all of our Pacific interests, at a time when there is violence happening in Central America and Southeast Asia, I would kind of like to have a little bit of ammunition in the stockpile, wouldn't you?
I would too, but you just need to slow your roll a little bit there, Tony Kinnett, because I heard the clip at the top of the hour the WIBC newsroom played of Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader, saying Americans are all for protecting Ukraine. They are interested there. It's in our best interest to protect and defend and send billions of dollars to Ukraine.
Now, we weren't on the air when you heard me, when you watched me hear that clip. Did I respond in a very warm and affectionate tone? He said three things, right? He said, number one, that Ukrainians were brave. He said, number two, that Ukrainians were innocent, meaning they don't deserve to have their territory infringed upon. Both of those are correct, by the way. Both of those are very correct. One lady at our church has adopted several children from Ukraine. I've spoken with her on very long occasions about the crisis over there. Those are both true. Then he said, they deserve our military aid and support. Hang on. What goes on in Ukraine is not necessarily my financial or military business. And to insinuate that I have a responsibility as an American citizen to fund a war over in Ukraine, where, by the way, we don't know where the dollars are going. You have no idea where are the receipts for what's being spent. These are dollars going off into the ether, and we're finding out some shady things as cryptocurrency markets rise and fall.
That's it.
I don't think Mitch McConnell, regardless of anything else, party affiliation, any of that nonsense, there is no way that you speak for me in saying that some country somewhere else deserves my dollars.
Nor can they show how it's of a national security interest for us to send not only money in billions of dollars, but Patriot missiles, which Russia could look at that and say, all right, this is probably this is on a different scale. This is upping the ante a little bit. Right. And this is not something that I would like to escalate at all with those people. All right, Matt Bear, what is up with traffic?
Nigel, crash inbound 69 and 465. It's on the ramp to 465. And the ramp is open, partially blocked. It is a mess right now. Lots of emergency vehicles have responded. And I'm looking at fire trucks. You might be able to make it through the Gore Point right now, but it is a bad situation here. Yeah, I would still find another way around because we are backed up to East 96th Street and barely moving at that. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. This week at Fresh Time Market, save on blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries, just 2 for $3 now through December 25th. Get real. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us on Twitter at WIBC Traffic.
Schnozberries in there?
Definitely a schnozberry.
Sorry,
the jam, only the jam.
I'll try to save you some of those over the commercial break.
Oh, thank you.
It is. Hold on. There's no way this is the temperature right now. What is it right now? Does anybody know what the temperature? It's saying on my phone 40. It can't be 40 right now.
It says 38 degrees in the American Centered Weather.
What is it? What do you got over there, James? 41? 41. Okay, so it's going to get very cool very quickly here in the next couple of days. 40 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Hello, Richard Michaelis, President of Michaelis Corporation, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. For over 3 decades, the Michaelis team has helped Central Indiana families and businesses facing fire, water, and storm damage. And because emergencies don't take days off, neither do we. If the unexpected happens this holiday season, we're here for you with our 24/7 rapid disaster response service. Because life happens, water, storms, fire, and foundations, make it Michaelis. 844-FIX-INDY.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, December 21st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Today's forecast is a chiller.
Living room turning into an icebox? We'll be right there. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we're
always on time.
Call 855-1HOUR or visit onehourheatandair.com. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. 999-9000.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, bro, you mind putting on some pants? I find it a little weird I have to ask twice.
On 93 WIBC.
That's one of my favorite things in the world where these woke, progressive Hollywood directors have to apologize to the Twitter mob. They have to bow down. I don't know if you heard the story yesterday. Tony Kinnett's filling in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. Steven Spielberg had to apologize because he thinks that Jaws was a big part of the decimation of the shark population back in 1975. Quote, I truly and to this day regret the decimation of the sharks because of the book and the film. The one thing I still fear, that sharks are somehow mad at me for feeding frenzy. Sharks are somehow mad at me for the feeding frenzy of crazy sport fishermen. The author of the book, by the way, has also said that if he could go back and write the book again, he would not. He would not do it. This was from yesterday. And again, they're so delusional and narcissistic, and they're giving themselves way too much credit here. Shark experts have all agreed, Jaws did not have that much to do with the decimation of the shark population.
Does this mean that Jan de Bont, who directed the movie Twister, is responsible for hating twisters and loving storm chasing? Is that the direction that we're going on right now?
Everybody that saw Twister that wanted to be a storm chaser that has died subsequently, you are owed an apology and probably a monetary settlement because of that movie.
Oh, I need to start storm chasing. That's what I know.
But we've also seen, the director of Love Actually, classic Christmas movie, now apologize because there's not enough diversity in the movie. Oh, I mean, he feels so bad that you go back 22 years to watch Love Actually. There's too many white people. Too much of whitey.
If there's not a disabled South Polynesian lesbian who goes by the name Afric James, then it's just not diverse enough.
We've been talking about this week this movie called The Whale from Darren Aronofsky, which it stars Brendan Fraser as a teacher he's just severely obese. He's grieving a death, trying to reconnect with his teenage daughter.
Right.
And the actor wore a fat suit for the role. And it's met with much criticism online from the Twitter mob. It says that it's fat-phobic, how it depicts this guy, and it should be a real obese person playing this role instead of Brendan Fraser.
I mean, if the movie depicted, I guess, being obese as a good thing, okay, but are you kidding?
Hollywood depicts obesity as a positive thing at this day and age.
But that's the point. Like he's clearly obese in the film because he's grieving and he's dealing with all this stuff. And as every bit of psychological and physiological evidence shows, that the number one question, like the number one thing you should be asked when going into therapy is what is your diet like? What is your sleep routine like? Because those two things affect everything physiologically, and he needs to be played by a fat person. Oh, just the absolute disregard for for any kind of
Aronofsky,
science.
I will say Aronofsky hasn't apologized. He's bewildered by the controversy.
He's bewildered? Thank God.
So he didn't apologize. He didn't
One
bow down to the
small
mob.
ray of light.
I got one more here for you. Plan on going to see Avatar, the new one, the Way of the Water? Any interest at all?
Space Dances with Wolves, which is what I called the first one. I mean it.
Yeah.
I don't get the obsession, but I mean, yeah, I'll probably get around to watching it eventually.
Oh, there's a boycott. There's a boycott being called right now.
Okay.
James Cameron's Avatar, The Way of the Water. Take a wild guess. Who's calling for a boycott of this movie?
Well, I would say it would be Native Americans, but that's not true because the vast majority of individuals that I know in both tribes that I'm friendly with as a member of the Cherokee Nation, I'm guessing it's really some white girl in Portland, Oregon, on behalf of Native Americans.
James Cameron's Avatar. Calling for boycotts from Native Americans and indigenous groups for cultural appropriation and for promoting the white savior complex.
Oh, so it's the blue skin thing? I forgot how much that we appreciate blue skin in Native American culture.
It's interesting. This goes back to when James Cameron said he opposed building some hydraulic dam in the Amazon. Back in 2009, 2010, he said that, and that's what led to the displacement of the Lakota Sioux tribe, which also in turn led him to writing the original Avatar, right? And so back then, he suggested that the tribe that was displaced by building that hydraulic dam should have fought a lot harder. And again, this story is what led him to write Avatar. So in a tweet Sunday, the Navajo co-chair of Indigenous Pride Los Angeles said, quote, Avatar was a horrible and racist film that must be boycotted. Our cultures were appropriated in a harmful manner to satisfy some man's savior complex. No more blueface. Lakota people are powerful.
The same Lakota tribe that massacred 18 different tribes on their taking of the Black Hills in South Dakota.
So you know this name?
The same Lakota tribe who's responsible for the genocide of over 10 different tribes in less than 200 years, if their history is to be believed. I'm sorry, humanity is filled with a brutal history of violence of conquering people. There is no innocent dynamic that I'm somehow responsible for by going to see Avatar? Is that really where we are? Seriously? At this point? Get out of here.
Entertainment Weekly ranked all the James Cameron movies, not including the latest Avatar. I'll give you the top 5. Number 1, Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Fantastic.
2 is Titanic. 3, Aliens. 4, The Terminator, the original one. And then 5, The Abyss. If you have not seen The Abyss,
you need to.
Incredible James Cameron movie.
I would have put Aliens over Titanic.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
I don't know. Titanic just seemed a little overblown for me. Maybe it was that back then I had to pop out the first VHS tape to get to the second one.
It's a lot of work.
Kind of takes it out, you know.
All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Planning for retirement all comes down to what matters most for you. Is it a vacation home? Is it traveling the globe? You could call the team at Howard Bailey Financial to help you plan for your retirement and to help you have a successful and fulfilling retirement. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people, and I'm excited to share that Singer Financial is now Howard Bailey Financial, an Indiana-based retirement planning firm.
The Howard Bailey team possesses credibility at both an ethical and professional standpoint. They will deliver you a customized framework that allows you to create the meaning of retirement. Whatever you visualize retirement to be, let the Howard Bailey team customize a plan specifically for you. If you're ready for your best retirement, come forward and see the Howard Bailey difference.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
There's no gift that's more beautiful, more versatile, and more meaningful than a beautiful piece of jewelry. And there's no better place to shop than Diamonds Direct, where celebrating memorable moments is our specialty. This holiday season, we've put together our most impressive selection of can't-miss gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands for every taste and every price range. And don't worry about higher prices and high interest rates. At Diamonds Direct, we've got your back with our guaranteed best value pricing and 3 years zero interest financing on any holiday purchase. That's right, zero interest financing. So that $5,000 Eternity Band is just over $138 a month. With this special offer, everything's affordable. So come to Diamonds Direct. Let our experts help you choose that perfect showstopper gift for this holiday season. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our all-new online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One day closer to that winter storm, 40 degrees and sunny downtown. You've got a clear radar and a low of 30 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. A winter storm warning is out for most of Indiana starting tomorrow. It'll only start with some light rain, but that could be a problem Thursday afternoon.
As the front moves through, temperatures will drop quickly. We could see what's called a flash freeze, where temperatures drop 10 to 20 degrees in a matter of just a couple hours.
National Weather Service meteorologist Michael Kosh, he says wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour with the flash freeze and snow could lead to dangerous driving conditions. Parts of northwest Indiana, like around South Bend, will be under a blizzard warning. The laptop was left in an oven with a bottle of butane. It blew up about an hour before Jonathan Sapirman began shooting inside the Greenwood Park Mall July 17th. Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen said in a Wednesday update that the shooter's cell phone may also not provide any clues on why the shooting happened. It's locked and at FBI headquarters.
This is very time-consuming because there are approximately 1 million possible combinations. This process is still ongoing and could take years to unlock.
Eisen says they were able to see his subreddits. They show he was fascinated with mass killings, but not that he was planning one. Ukrainian President Zelensky is thanking President Biden and the American people for continuing to provide support to Ukraine.
All my appreciation from my heart, from the hearts of Ukrainians, all Ukrainians, from our nation, strong nations, all the appreciation to you, first of all, Mr. President, for your big support.
Zelensky met with Biden in the Oval Office this afternoon. The president announced the U.S. will be sending Ukrainian forces a Patriot air defense system to help defend itself from Russian attacks. IMPD and the DEA worked together to stop a drug trafficking operation in the capital city, arresting 12 men. Parker Carlson reports.
Police say the group began their operation last year, smuggling drugs all the way from Nebraska to sell on the streets of Indianapolis. 12 men that were arrested all face several charges for dealing meth and fentanyl, but one man is in extra trouble for armed drug dealing as police found 28 guns. But inside stash houses on the north side, police say they seized 408 pounds of meth and over 17 pounds of fentanyl. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The children's music and dance teacher who couldn't cha-cha.
I was always on my feet. It was just so painful.
Elisa couldn't let her students down. So she stepped up and went to the Good Feet store for personally fitted arch supports.
I would work an entire day and my feet didn't hurt at the end of the day. That was when I knew, wow, these are different.
But the really good part?
It's good to be dancing together again.
Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Come in for a free fitting, no appointment needed. The Good Feet store, in the north, near Keystone at the Crossing or in Greenwood.
With traffic at 3:35, here's Matt Bear.
Northeast side crash clear. Southbound 69 and 465 still traffic is a mess. Back to 106th Street. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. East side southbound 465 a slow roll from 70 down to 74. And south side eastbound 465 stop and go after the White River to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Some light rain to start Thursday, then snow through the evening. Very cold with overnight lows sub-zero. 3 to 6 inches on the ground early Friday morning with lows in the lower single digits. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This is bad. That's a joke, right? You're joking?
The Hammer and Nigel Show. 93 WIBC.
I'm Nigel. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, filling in for Jason Hammer. You tweeted out something interesting I wanted to ask you about, talking about helping teachers leave the Indiana State Teachers Association. Before we get to that, just give us, people might not be familiar with your background in education. Just start from the beginning, where you've been, your resume, where you've worked, and where you are now.
Yeah, I've taught in a lot of different schools in Wisconsin and Indiana. Taught in Knightstown, taught at Lawrence North. I was the science administrator at IPS, directed science over there for a bit before they let me go for exposing critical race theory and some other shenanigans going on in the district. And ran Chalkboard Review education publication for a couple of years, and now I'm the investigative columnist over at the Daily Signal.
I think one of the things you were called in at IPS for in the HR department was appearing on Tucker Carlson. Was that an egregious mistake on your part?
They were very upset. There were emails being sent in that I didn't mention their names at all on the segment. They said, I didn't agree to be put on Tucker Carlson. It's like, sweetie, no one put you on Tucker Carlson. But
funny.
I was called in to address that.
So your tweet earlier, so that's your background in education journalism, and you write for the Daily Signal now. You're an investigative journalist. You wrote these words on Twitter today or yesterday. Today, I helped my 200th teacher leave the Indiana State Teachers Association. That's $200,000 annually, no longer going to teachers' unions. Tell me about that tweet.
Yeah, so in Indiana, the largest teachers union, there are a couple of them, but most are members of the ISTA. That is the Indiana State Teachers Association. It's a branch of the NEA run by Becky Pringle, and it costs $1,000 a year to be a member. And they usually deduct that right out of your paycheck, so you never even see it in the first place. And they provide all kinds of really helpful services like
crickets.
And that's about it. And so I've been encouraging a lot of teachers in private conversations, especially because all it seems like the ISTA is doing these days is sending you emails and flyers telling you to vote Democrat, telling you to vote against certain school board candidates, and basically feeding you a bunch of political nonsense. Instead, I encourage them to leave that union that does nothing for them and to work closely with parents in their communities, and you get an extra $1,000 a year in your pocket.
What would they say they do? Maybe what would somebody that supports a teachers union, what would they say the benefit is? Just humor me here for a minute.
If I ever get sued or I ever were to get fired, then the teachers union would have my back, which is not true because the ISTA does reject a lot of certain situations. They really don't touch a whole lot. The ISTA doesn't ever threaten action on behalf of a teacher. They supposedly negotiate salaries with the district, although they haven't actually been successful at negotiating higher salaries at almost any district in the state of Indiana. They seem to be particularly silent on a lot of schools spending money on useless programs and projects.
Are the unions here, the teachers unions, and I want to be clear, there's a clear difference between teachers unions and the actual teachers.
I'm actually talking about the state association itself. You get a lot of local union heads are wonderful people that are also getting fed up with a lot of the garbage the state association is sending them. Yes.
So my question is, how powerful are the teachers unions here as opposed to radical leftist cities, heavily blue Democratic cities like Chicago in the state of Illinois or Washington, D.C. or California? It seems like they have a lot more pull. No, these kids aren't going back to school during COVID. Oh, wait, you're going to make them wear masks? No, they're still not going to school because they don't have the vaccine. Oh, wait, we get the vaccine first. It seems like there were certain teachers unions in districts across the country that were more powerful than others. I mean, how would you compare Indiana to other states?
It depends on what you mean by power. So as far as politically, they are very far on the left. As far as actual institutional power in education, they have next to none. I mean, they can threaten a strike, but it's not really going to do very much, if anything. They mostly just organize rallies and tell their teachers what to believe, and they pressure the ever-living snot out of the legislators during sessions. Governor Holcomb invites them over to his, governor's residence. He doesn't invite any other experts in education over. So really they hold kind of a weird figurehead education power philosophically.
Do they you run for the school board, it's supposed to be nonpartisan. You don't see an R or a D next to the person that's running when you go to vote. Do the unions position themselves openly as Democrats, even though that's kind of the policy for school board elections? I mean, we saw what's her face hanging out with Joe Biden, saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Who's the Randy Weingarten?
Yeah,
she's the president of the partisan
AFT.
and a Democrat.
Well, and Becky Pringle is incredibly far to the left. It's ridiculous. Yes. So they are very open in what they do and don't support. I have a tweet from ages ago. It's this horrible PowerPoint poster that was I still hanging in a forlorn IPS break room, talking about all of these evil things Republicans were pushing, and they were very open against it, things like private schools and like religious freedom, these horrible things that the Indiana Teachers Union don't really care for. And they're very open in being for the left. Donation wise, like 99% of the millions of dollars that they throw out in donations a year go to Democrat campaigns.
So we'll keep it here in Indiana because lawmakers are starting to consider the, a parents' rights in education legislation, much like they passed in Florida. Remember this earlier this year in Florida? It basically restricts teaching of sexuality among young children. Democrats referred to it as, wrongly so, the Don't Say Gay bill. Of course, the Indy Star has labeled it, this Indiana version, the Don't Say Gay bill.
Well, they can't read, so you have to forgive them of that. They're quite incapable of reading 3 pages of legislation.
And it has nothing to do with saying gay. It only applies from kindergarten through 3rd grade in terms of the one I'm talking about in Florida. But Indiana's looking at similar legislation, and people, again, are up in arms about this. And I'm like, hey, look, can you just leave my kids out of gender identity and sexual orientation up until a certain grade at least, please?
That's true. And by the way, there are no legislators that argued in Florida during their HB 1557, the quote-unquote so-called Don't Say Gay bill, that if, let's say there's a first grade teacher in Florida, and he's gay, and he is talking with his students, and he said, so when I went home yesterday, he saw like maybe a math example, a word problem. He said, I handed my husband 3 apple pies. He ate one of them. How many does that leave? Is this the school going to bust in and say, you said my husband, that's gay, get out of here? No, that's not going to happen. No one is arguing for that. They are saying you are not allowed to talk about sex and gender identity, a subject far above what K through 4th graders should be talking about in school. And that's exactly what they're considering in the state of Indiana. And good on them. It's about time.
Well, look, you've been covering the situation at where in Pendleton?
Yes, the South Madison Community School Corporation in Pendleton.
Where the gender orientation policy is that if the parents aren't supportive of a student's desire to transition, then you don't get to tell them. The teachers have to lie to their parents. Do you have any updates on that? Because you covered that at the school board meeting.
Yeah, so I watched that school board meeting. I watched Dr. Hall, the superintendent, as well as Jack Sandifer, the school board president, be very blatantly dishonest with parents, try to pin this whole thing on a non-discrimination policy due to U.S. Department of Agriculture funds in relation to giving students lunches. It's like, well, we have to just treat lying to parents about what a kid's pronouns and name are like we would treat a student who just wanted to be called Jeff instead of Jeffrey, which is so stupid and such blatant dishonesty.
Do they think we're all stupid? They must, because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You should hear what a lot of administrators say about you when the doors are shut. It is extremely venomous. We just covered a story in Texas where a school board didn't know that they were on the microphone. And we're talking about one parent who was concerned about her son being bullied, that they were going to take a cup she had left at the meeting and they were going to shove it up her butt. And they were caught on the mic.
In New Jersey, let's go to New Jersey here real quick because it's unfortunately it's the return of the mask in New Jersey.
Return of the mask. Who are you?
Return of the mask.
See the flu. Return of the mask. We know just what to
One
do.
of Jersey's largest public school districts requiring masks, Tony, due to rising COVID-19 cases. Passaic Public Schools, 14,000 students, K through 12. You're putting a mask on, even though the science is there that says these things really don't normally work. Maybe if you have a KN95 and maybe if it's fitted properly and maybe if you don't take it off for hours at a time. But I guarantee you ain't putting one on one of those things on a first grader. And the cloth ones that you buy from China sure as hell don't work. And studies have been shown.
I'd like to take a moment and really throw this to all of our early childhood teachers and daycare workers right now in the state of Indiana. You that are driving home right now, or maybe you have this on in the background of the daycare, just a moment to you. How did your kids do wearing those masks in your classroom, in your daycare centers, and other places? Did they wear the masks correctly?
Never.
Or was it an absolute chaotic, nonsensical fest? Oh dear, Hoosier child educators. Because from what I saw, kids didn't care. It did absolutely nothing. In fact, it may turn out to have been a more unhealthy experience.
Very detrimental.
Than anything else, not to mention the pain towards kids with speech impediments. That's damage we'll never see reversed.
Big victory for Attorney General Todd Rokita. Won a legal fight against President Biden's COVID vaccine mandates. Court struck down a rule requiring vaccination for anyone working for federal contractors. Quote, Hoosiers and all Americans should have the liberty to make their own decisions on whether or not to get vaccinated. That includes individuals who happen to work as a federal contractor. No one should have to fear losing their jobs just because they opt against getting a shot. Another victory for Funky Todd Rokita. And while, as expected, COVID cases are on the rise, Tony,
that's true.
Here is a Christmas tribute from Hammer and Nigel Records.
On the 12th day of COVID, my country gave to me
12 nurses masking,
11 doctors freaking,
10 restaurants closing,
9 patients wheezing,
8 ventilators,
7 hands a washing,
6 feet a parting,
5 new vaccines, 4 latex gloves,
3 kids homeschooled,
2 nasal swabs,
and it's all clear for COVID-19.
Ah, yes. Another classic from holiday classic from Hammer and Nigel Records. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The holidays are a time to celebrate our favorite traditions with family and friends, like enjoying a honey-baked ham, always slow-smoked with their special blend of hardwood chips, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire-glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy finish they're famous for. It's why 4 generations of families have made honey-baked ham the centerpiece of their holiday dinners since 1957. Taste the tradition with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street in Indy and East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is your one and only spot for Christmas and holiday gifts this year, and I shop at PA Jewelers. Jewelry for my wife, watches for my wrist, that's what I get from PA Jewelers. They have an incredible selection of one-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces, specialty pieces. Visit PA Jewelers today to get your Christmas shopping done today. More than a kiss, visit PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg. PA Jewelers is worth the trip. 317-858-3030 or online at premierarms.com.
There's only one you, and you only have one heart. That's why Franciscan Health is here with the highest level of heart care that's personal, compassionate, and sensitive to your needs. Known for embracing innovative technology and advancements in care, our nationally recognized heart team is committed to helping you protect the only heart you've got. To schedule your appointment with a heart care expert or to get a second opinion, visit franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's that time for our year-end inventory reduction sale. Save up to an extra 20% off the sale price on in-stock and floor samples from Smith Brothers of Bern, Lazy Boy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and so much more. Special orders are on sale too with interest-free financing and extra discounts for cash. Sale is now through Christmas Eve only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Hi,
Hi, this is
Lloyd,
Jessica,
Robert, and Adam
from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsboro. The Kirby family wishes you the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Year's. Thanks for your business. We really appreciate it. If you live in Hendricks or surrounding counties and need us, we are always here to help. Kirby services any model, and we proudly install American Standard products. Call us at 317-892-3614.
Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Happy holidays from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed, only $49.99. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. This hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Thursday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com. Pierce Jewelers has the perfect sparkle to put under the tree this Christmas. So don't be a Grinch. Spoil your loved one with a little blue box from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Jewelry, rings, diamonds, and watches are just a few possible Christmas gifts at Pierce Jewelers. Let them help you celebrate that special moment with your loved one. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
Nigel, crash clear. Southbound 69 and 465 still stop and go traffic back to 106. East side southbound 465 jams before 72 south at Shadeland Avenue. Eastbound 72 downtown slow. Harding Street 2, Meridian Street, Illinois, and south side stretch of delay here. Eastbound 465 Kentucky over to Emerson. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
39 of the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. Tony Kennett is filling in for Hammer. Let's give away some concert tickets right now. Skinnerd and ZZ Top. Sunday, August 20th at Ruoff Music Center. Caller 9-239-9393 gets a pair. I'm looking at the forecast here, Tony, and so we're at about today's high, 39-40. Tomorrow's high, Thursday, about 41.
Okay, all right.
Until the afternoon, and then the temperature will basically, well, to give you an idea, the high Friday is 4.
The high of Friday is 4?
So we're hovering around today's high at around 39 or 40. Same for tomorrow. But then Thursday afternoon, it's going to rain for most of the day tomorrow. And immediately after the rainfall, it's the cold front and 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And the chance that any rain on the ground is going to freeze and turn into solid ice. And then the snow moves in, dropping anywhere from 3 to 5 here in central Indiana. And if you're up north, maybe 4 to 8 inches throughout the overnight hours into Friday.
You know, there are only a few moments of my life where I'm thankful that I'm not Matt Bear. That might be it. The traffic that will come out of that sounds horrible.
It does. Of course, hopefully not a lot of people will be out on the roads. I mean, Friday especially is the Friday before Christmas Eve, the eve of Christmas Eve. So hopefully not a lot of people are going to be out on the roads, and we're going to have complete coverage for you tomorrow and all weekend long. Everything you need to know. We'll get Marcus Bailey from Wish TV, our meteorologist from our news gathering partners, on tomorrow to tell you exactly what we can expect. So, but just know again, tomorrow's high is 41. Friday's high 4. Saturday's high 12. Tons of wind gusts. 3 to 5 inches of snow. and who knows what kind of damage in terms of the power grids, or if you're going to have power or not.
I got to bring some firewood into the house tonight. Not even going to lie.
Let's go down to Florida real quick, because they're in the middle of some sort of Arctic freeze here, and they've had this warning, and we've talked about this before. They've got a hard freeze coming down in Florida, and all the iguanas tend to freeze up that sit there in the palm trees and fall to the ground, and they have to warn people down in Florida. I've seen this happen. Iguanas get into the transformers down there, and whole blocks of power, whole city blocks lose their power because these iguanas get into the power lines. These are giant creatures, and they're non-indigenous.
Yeah, they're huge.
So once they're cold-blooded, so they start to get sluggish when temperatures fall below 50. They freeze, fall to the ground, and then Florida warns people, actually, do not pick them up. Do not throw them away. They will come back to life once it starts to warm up.
I would pay good money to hear a meteorologist get on the TV down in Florida and go, and on Friday, a slight chance of lizards. Make sure you're watching your head.
Hey, Guy Relford is live in studio. Exactly what happened at the Greenwood Park Mall and the police press conference today. We'll have an update for you next.
What's it like having next-gen supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity? Well, it's ready for major gig speeds. So it's fast, like riding a cheetah fast. And with 3 times the bandwidth, the gaming never has to end. Plus, Xfinity supersonic Wi-Fi has the power you need to connect hundreds of devices at the same time. Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Now through December 21st, new customers can get $200 back with gig speed internet. Or get started with 400 megabit internet plus Xfi Complete with unlimited data and Wi-Fi equipment included. It's all just $55 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
There's the good parts we all think about. The crackling of wood on a cold winter night, the warmth and glow in the room. And then there's the other part. The stale campfire smell, the potentially dangerous creosote buildup. It's easy to forget about the importance of fireplace maintenance. The certified professionals at Chimney Solutions Indiana can keep your fireplace clean and safe using trusted products and repair techniques. Call 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. A copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, more details on the winter storm headed your way, an update from police about the Greenwood Park Mall shooter, and Parker Carlson reports on the drug trafficking operations that were broken up in Indy. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
He's thanking all Americans. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Ukraine's president is in Washington, his first trip out of Ukraine since the Russian invasion in February, during an Oval Office meeting thanking President Biden for his leadership and the nation for its support, including billions in military assistance.
We're going to continue to strengthen Ukraine's ability to defend itself, particularly
air defense.
President Biden says that's why the U.S. is providing Ukraine with the Patriot missile battery and training on how to use it, part of a nearly $2 billion defense drawdown announced today. Tonight, the Ukrainian leader will address a joint meeting of Congress, which is working on a spending bill that includes another $45 billion in help for Ukraine. That would bring the total to more than $100 billion.
Congress has passed 3 aid packages for Ukraine this year, totaling $67 billion. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill have questioned the billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars that are flowing to Ukraine, not because they are anti-aid. They just want to see the receipts to see how taxpayer dollars are being spent. The White House says the president is not wavering on his commitment to support Ukraine financially, however they need, for as long as it takes.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn at the White House. The address by President Zelensky tonight is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The former CEO of FTX could be headed back to the U.S. tonight after waiving an extradition hearing at a court appearance in the Bahamas today.
His lawyer in the courtroom read an affidavit which said he had a, quote, desire to make the relevant customers whole. The judge then asked him if that affidavit represented his wishes. He said it did.
Fox Business's Connell McShane at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, where Sam Bankman-Fried would arrive to face 8 felony charges, including fraud and money laundering. Wall Street rallies. The Dow up 526 at the closing bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Travel will be tough. 40 degrees and sunny on the Circle. All clear on the radar. Low of 30 degrees tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A winter storm warning is coming tomorrow afternoon. Meteorologist Michael Kosh at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says your priority is being prepared.
Make sure your home is winter ready. Make sure you have supplies ahead of time and have a plan in case you lose power, because that could be definitely a big concern as well, losing power, especially with temperatures as cold as they're going to be.
He says those temperatures could be well below zero as central Indiana will see winds around 50 miles per hour. The northwest corner of the state will be under a blizzard warning. He'd been abandoned repeatedly and was cut off financially before attempting a mass shooting at Greenwood Park Mall. Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen says the shooter did not leave a manifesto, but his online presence was ominous. Some of his emails and usernames:
The dark will rise at gmail.com, xxjonathandark@gmail.com, and his Reddit usernames, the Greater German Reich and Grober Germanic. This is a political state name that Nazi Germany tried to establish in World War II.
While his ex-girlfriend told police she wasn't shocked when she heard about the shooting, Eisen said in a Wednesday update that she never indicated he would try a mass killing. IMPD and the DEA worked together to stop a drug trafficking operation in Indy, arresting 12 men. Parker Carlson reports.
Police say the group began their operation last year, smuggling drugs all the way from Nebraska to sell on the streets of Indianapolis. 12 men that were arrested all face several charges for dealing meth and fentanyl, but one man is in extra trouble for armed drug dealing as police found 28 guns. But inside stash houses on the north side, police say they seized 408 pounds of meth and over 17 pounds of fentanyl. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana State Police caught a woman from Evansville driving over 120 miles per hour Wednesday morning on I-69 in Vanderburgh County. The speed limit was 60. Police say the woman was cited for reckless driving, and they remind you to always drive responsibly. The average price for gas in Indiana today is $2.99 per gallon, says Gas Buddy. That's a 5-cent drop from where the average was Monday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
David in Nineveh wanted to sell his weekend home on Sweetwater Lake, and he was concerned that the market had softened and he may have missed getting the best price. He heard about Mark Dietel on our show. Mark Dietel's the only real estate agent I trust to sell my house. He spoke with Mark. Mark assured him he could still get a great price, and he was right. Mark was fiercely committed to getting David's home sold at the big number he needed. David's home sold quickly and at a great price.
You have a lot of options in the real estate game, but there's only one agent that we recommend and trust here on the Hammer and Nigel show, and that's Mark Dietel, because Mark Dietel has the guarantee. Mark Dietel can guarantee an offer in 3 days at full market value, or he will list it for free. Call Mark Dietel right now. 317-755-4232 or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com. Be sure to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
Inbound 69, stop and go 106th Street down to 465. And then eastbound 465, stop and go Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. South side, eastbound 465, slowing up big time before Man over to Emerson. And on the west side, southbound 465, a slow roll after 46 down to West 10th Street. Traffic sponsored by Fisher Homes. Discover your dream home with confidence with Fisher Homes. With exclusive below market rates and one-time complimentary refinancing, you are sure to save thousands. Visit FisherHomes.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect light precipitation for the Thursday morning commute. Patchy drizzle by afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Thursday evening, rain will transition to snow, bringing heavy snow for the Thursday evening commute. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Tony Kennett from Daily Signal here, filling in for Hammer. Also, Guy Relford, Second Amendment attorney and licensed firearms instructor, host of the Gun Guy Show, joining us live in studio. You're at City Hall in Greenwood. There was a press conference concerning the Greenwood Park Mall shooter and what happened July 17th. Just before we get to this press conference, what it entailed, what we learned about the deceased shooter, can you maybe just take us back to that day? Your client is the hero that stopped the shooting, Guy, and I wonder if maybe just kind of reset what happened that day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it was a Sunday. It was, a day like any other you would think at the Greenwood Park Mall. It was toward the end of the day. Everything really started unfolding at 5:56. Mall closes at 6 on Sundays. But this shooter, and I don't like to name these people, they're after notoriety, and I don't choose to give that to them. But This shooter had gone to the mall, took 2 rifles and a handgun and a backpack. They were clearly broken down. The Greenwood police today released a still photo of the guy walking into the mall with a backpack. But he went to a restroom right off the food court and stayed in this restroom for an hour. And literally an hour, because they have the video, they can time it. They're not sure what he was doing in there, but he emerged just before 6 o'clock, 5:56, and walked out of the restroom. There was a gentleman walking into the restroom who had just separated from his family, and I was able to see the whole video of the shooting today as Eli Dickens' lawyer. The police were gracious enough to let me see the entire video today. And the gentleman separates from his family. His family goes to find a table in the food court. The gentleman's walking in to the bathroom, goes to walk into the bathroom, and just as he's doing that, the shooter's walking out. The victim is on his cell phone, actually was legally armed himself, but had no reaction time. I don't care if this guy was a member of SWAT teams or SEAL Team 6, I should say. He wouldn't have had any reaction time. He looks up. There's a guy with a rifle. He gets shot and killed.
And the victim was armed.
Yeah, he was armed, but he had absolutely no opportunity to do anything other than see this guy, and it was over. The shooter then emerges from the bathroom and shoots at a couple who were seated in the food court having a meal. Kills both of them. Fires a couple of apparently more or less random shots across the food court. Didn't really appear to be aimed shots. And at this point, and a total of 15 seconds from the first shot, Eli Dickens, my client, and his girlfriend are having a meal at the opposite side of the food court. He's, according to Chief Eisen today, Jim Eisen from the Greenwood Police Department, Chief said today he was 43 yards away, so almost half a football field. Eli hears the shots. He is able to understand what's going on. He pushes his girlfriend down to safety. He draws his gun. He was carrying a Glock 19 9mm handgun, draws his gun from a holster, actually leans out around from a column that was right there next to the table where they were eating. So he actually shot from a position of cover, as we say. And shot 4 shots. He shot 2, actually had to pause. This is so amazing to watch. He shot 2 shots, had to pause because screaming people are running across his sight picture. He has to pause, allow people to run past, shoots 2 more shots, hit the guy twice out of 4 shots from 43 yards away.
Wow.
The bad guy then is trying to get back into the bathroom. He's hit. He's trying to get back into the bathroom. Eli then emerges from cover because he can't see the guy from the angle he's at, closes to about 20 yards, shoots 4 more shots, hits the guy 4 more times.
All 4 more times?
Incredible.
All 4. Then the guy is now still trying to get back into the bathroom. Eli closes to what I'd say maybe 25 feet or so. The guy's starting to fall, still has the rifle. Eli shoots him the final 2 times. So Eli shot a total of 10 shots, hit this guy 8 times. And this is under incredibly trying circumstances.
Absolutely.
Again, I've talked to trained SWAT officers who have seen this video there at the Greenwood Police Department who said they're not convinced they could have made all these shots. So I said at the press conference today, once I started answering questions after the Chiefs press conference, I said, we use the term cool under fire. This gentleman was truly, literally cool under fire as someone's firing an AR-15. He returns fire and hit 8 out of 10 shots and saved countless lives that day, no question.
Do you comment as Eli's lawyer? Have you commented on or can tell us the training that Eli has in his background?
Yeah, that's easy. Absolutely none.
Absolutely none.
Absolutely none. And you're talking to a guy.
Wait a minute.
No.
What are you talking about? None.
No formal training.
No formal training.
Like he's go to a gun range.
Go out to the range or out to the backyard.
Well, let me tell you. So and Eli's, a lot of this is attorney-client privilege, but Eli's specifically authorized me to talk about all this on his behalf. But the very first conversation we had after the shooting, the very next morning, I asked him. I said, so tell me about your training, man. You obviously done a lot of it. No, not really. Never taken any formal training. Well, yeah, but when you go to the range, I bet you're really good. He goes, nah, I don't go to the range. And he said his grandfather at like 10 or 11 years old taught him how to shoot, and that's really about it. The guy hasn't really done much shooting at all. And I got to tell you, me, Nigel, my dad retired not so long ago as a Methodist pastor, and I got a theory about what happened that day.
I was going to say, if there's a moment for the grace of God to come in, this is it.
The hand of God was on Eli. There's no doubt in my mind. But no, he dry fires a lot. And by dry fire, I mean with an empty gun, you line your sights up and you practice making the gun go click because it's got no ammo in it without the sights moving. So you can put your sights on something. I do it all the time. I do it with light switches. I'll put my sights on something little like the actual switch of a light switch and try to hold the gun completely steady and make the gun go click on an empty chamber without the gun moving. And it's great training. A lot of training classes you go to, they recommend that you do a lot of dry fire practice. And Eli's done quite a bit of that over the years, but very little actual shooting to my great shock when he first revealed that to me. It's pretty amazing. I'm telling you, it's the hand of God. There's no other explanation in my mind.
I'd call it morbid curiosity more than anything, but I'm curious. I've seen Greg Price mention this on Twitter, what he was carrying. What was he carrying?
A Glock 19, 9mm. And get this. It wasn't exactly a pristine Glock 19. And anybody doesn't know that gun or you're not familiar with firearms, it's a compact 9mm Glock. It's not real small, but it's smaller than the full size, which is of the same gun, which is Glock 17. But it's compact. And again, this first conversation I'm having with him, I asked him if he had a red dot sight, an optic. And he goes, no, I didn't have anything like that. So you just had
the standard white sights that came with the Glock.
Exactly. And I said, so you just had stock sights? And he goes, well, not exactly. And I go, what do you mean not exactly? He said, this kills me. He goes, well, I had a motorcycle wreck weeks before the shooting, and I was wearing the gun in a holster on my right hip. And when I went down on the motorcycle, I sort of slid on the gun, when I went down on the motorcycle, and it kind of ground my sights up a little bit. And I go, what do you mean it grounds your sights up? And he showed me a picture right after he had this motorcycle wreck. And he took a whole bunch of the plastic polymer off of both the front and the rear sight And so he not only had stock sights, they were pretty chewed up stock sights to add to that. Pretty amazing. And Tony's sitting here with a wide-eyed gaze. And
I'm saying that because I have like nice tritium sights on my carry, and that's...
as do I. I have red dots on several pistols, and I couldn't agree with you more. Because the reason I'm chuckling is because I had exactly that same look on my face when he told me this story.
You can't believe it, but I mean, it's you have the firearm. I mean, you've seen the entirety of the video.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Speaking as a Christian in this situation, I cannot say that there is any other explanation for that marksmanship than the hand of God.
Yeah,
and true raw talent.
Well, yeah, and you know, and that dry firing helps a lot. But I'm with you completely, Tony. I think that's the answer. And I don't know if I'll live long enough to see it, but I think we're going to see something like the granddaughter of someone whose life was saved that day in that food court is going to cure cancer or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be something profound.
One of those butterfly effect moments.
I'm telling you, I believe that in my heart. I really do.
And your client has not spoken publicly about this. I believe he's sort of he's very reserved, and I don't know that he ever will. How is he? You know, he took a human life, and there's still you know, things that you deal with as a human being that you know, not only was, you know, other people died in this, but many more people could have died.
And you know, and Eli knows that, and that's of great comfort to him, and he greatly appreciates. I mean, the accolades, the thank yous. A lady came up to me at the press conference today, whose grandchildren were in the mall in the food court when the guy started shooting, and she could not have been more sincere in wanting me to thank Eli for saving the life of her grandkids. And Eli appreciates all of that tremendously at the same time. And look, I want to respect his privacy, so I won't even talk about Eli specifically. But I've now represented 6 people over my 39 years as an attorney who have taken a human life, all absolutely justified, completely legal, and in fact, all of them were heroes. And every single one of them has reacted the same way, in that there's a conflict where when people walk up and pat you on the back, or people want to buy you a beer, you know, and people have sort of a celebratory attitude, there's a conflict there. Because you don't want to celebrate. You're living with the fact that you've taken a human life. And if you're a person, as Eli is, and as every one of my other clients has been, a person who values human life, that's a hard thing to get past. It's a hard thing emotionally. It can be spiritually, you know, and that's why having the right resources and the right counseling and the people to talk to get through that, because it's a big deal. And Eli's kind of a naturally quiet guy. He's a hardworking guy. And he really just wants to get back to the life he had before all this unfolded. That's why he's adamant. He doesn't want to speak publicly, and he may change his mind. He says for now he may change his mind at some point, but he may not. And that's why he's wanted to allow me to go out and sort of tell the story on his behalf, because he knows there's an important message here too, which is that there are opportunities in real life, despite what many would have you believe that it's a myth, where a law-abiding citizen who's carrying a firearm can save lives. And that's what happened in the Greenwood Park Mall on July 17th. And people need to understand that when we start talking about limiting Second Amendment rights.
Can you stick around for a second segment? Because I really want to get to the crux of this press conference today, what we learned about the shooter, what we still don't know. Guy Relford live in studio. Let's hit a look at traffic with Matt Baer.
You got a Nigel looking at the west side of crash, 10th and Tomahawk. That's going to be West 10th Street between Country Club and Girls School Road. Those westbound lanes, those outbound lanes are really backed up, almost to 465. Inbound 65 jams 29th Street to the north split. Eastbound 70 to downtown. Slow Harding to Meridian, Illinois. East side southbound 465 stop and go before 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Meijer. Find last minute holiday gifts and save with 15% off your total toy department purchase with M-Perks. Get more for your money every time you shop Meijer. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
39 of the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. We'll be right back with more from Guy Relford.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, December 21st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to propose or show them how much their love means to you? The first of a lifetime of holidays surrounded by those you love is just the moment you've been looking for. And at Diamonds Direct, we're here to make that magic happen. Diamonds Direct's got the unbeatable prices you're used to, plus 0% interest financing for 3 years. You can get the most amazing romantic gift and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. That means an $8,000 diamond pendant or tennis bracelet is just over $220 a month. At Diamonds Direct, we have the best gifts: rings, bands, earrings, all new one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, starting as low as $500. So relax and enjoy the holidays. Get that incredible gift at a price you didn't think was possible and take advantage of 3 years 0 interest financing. Come in today or go online for store hours and directions, and check out our all-new holiday gift guide to make it super easy. Happy holidays from Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30, stop smoking 8 p.m. Or January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Looking for the perfect gift this holiday? Crew Car Wash books are on everyone's list. And right now, buy 4 Ultimate Washes and get 2 free. Available online or at any Crew Car Wash location.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Lab Grown or Mined Diamond Store.
Behold the power! You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Tony Kennett filling in for Hammer. Guy Relford here live in studio. There was a press conference earlier this afternoon at the town hall in Greenwood having to do with the shooting July 17th at the Greenwood Park Mall. Of course, your client, Eli Dicken, was a hero and killed the the shooter who actually killed 3 people before he himself perished because of Eli and his shooting. What was the point of the press conference today? What did we learn? Just what can you tell us about the press conference earlier this afternoon?
Well, really, Chief James Eisen down there, and by the way, I think he's done a fabulous job. I really think that he's been a professional. He's been communicative, and what he wanted to do was announced the conclusions of the investigation. And you might ask why, for a shooting that happened July 17th, why are we just talking about the conclusions of his investigation now? Well, they were waiting quite some time for the forensic examination, both of the computer they recovered from the shooter's home, that he put in an oven with a can of butane that exploded. But they were trying to recover information off the hard drive of the computer. But then also what even took longer is they recovered a cell phone, a smartphone that the bad guy had put in a toilet in the bathroom during that hour that he was in there. They recovered that phone, and it was an iPhone that's locked. And they've been running it through the software. The FBI has been doing this to try to open that up. And after 5 months, they still haven't been able to open that phone. And in fact, Chief Eisen announced today they have a computer program that basically runs every conceivable combination through the phone to try to open it. Mm-hmm. And that can, just because there's over 1 million potential combinations, it can take literally a year. Because the way the iPhone works, you put 4 wrong combinations in it, it shuts down. So you have to restart the phone and then do the whole thing again, and then it shuts down again. So this thing, I can't imagine having that job, sitting in a room doing this for 12 hours. But at any rate, they still haven't unlocked the phone, but they have done a complete examination of this guy's social media postings. He posted a ton on several different media sites, none of which I frequent. And so they've done a complete examination of what he posted, and they learned a lot, including the fact that this guy had a complete infatuation with mass shootings. He had an infatuation with World War II and Nazi Germany. What's interesting is, and Chief Eisen addressed this today, he didn't so much express admiration for mass shooters or admiration for Nazi Germany or the Nazis generally. He was just a student of them and clearly knew a lot about mass shootings. He was talking about which ones did and did not happen in gun-free zones and why shooters select certain targets when they want to do a mass shooting. But nothing that Chief Eisen mentioned today, and he drew this same conclusion, mentioned that this guy wanted to be a mass shooter or that he looked up to the people or wanted to be like them. It was just that he was a student of them. And then the chief went through, and this is what leads me to offer perhaps some informed speculation as to what this guy's motive was. And that is, he went through all the life circumstances of this guy that were really spiraling downward rapidly. His dad had just cut him off financially. He's being evicted from his apartment. And by the way, me going through this is in no way expressing sympathy for this guy. Don't take it that way.
No, you're just outlining the circumstances of the shooter's life.
Exactly. And so his girlfriend had broken up with him. It was some time before. His brother, who he had been living with, the brother took his own name off the lease, and this guy, he was 20 years old, wasn't able to pay for the apartment. That's why he's getting kicked out. So all this stuff's going on. So here you are. You got a kid, 20 years old, who's got an infatuation with mass shooters. His life's in the toilet in a lot of different ways. I think he just, again, this is my speculation. People are free to agree or disagree, and I'm not saying this as an absolute fact. It's simply a theory that developed during the press conference for me today. Is this guy said, hey, my life's in the crapper right now. I think the way to end it is to go take as many people with me as possible. I'm going to go to a mall. I'm going to shoot dozens and dozens of people. The cops will eventually show up and kill me, and that'll allow me to join the ranks of these shooters that I've studied for a while, and it'll end my life. And I think he would have accomplished exactly that. I think he could have killed. He still had 100 rounds of ammo on him. He had 3 30-round mags and whatever was left in the magazine that he was shooting from. So clearly somewhere around 100 rounds when Eli ended the threat. And so, but for the heroism of Elijah Dickin, I think this guy would have accomplished what he wanted to, which is kill dozens and dozens of people and then die in a hail of bullets from police officers.
Can you stick around for a third break, Tony? I know you have a ton of question.
I do. I'm chomping at the bit.
I know. So can you stick around for a third break?
By the way,
I know you've been.
I'm a big fan of Tony Kinnett, by the way. I'm a big fan of Chalkboard Review. I think he's my second favorite fill-in host here on Hammer and Nigel. After you
yourself.
That humble push there. Everyone loves that. Well,
I'm thrilled to be here in the studio and to meet Tony. I'm a big fan of his. And so, no, I'm happy to stick around.
All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Switch to Xfinity and get one line of unlimited mobile and home internet together for $50 a month for 12 months. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Connect Internet customers only on one-year contract. Internet included for 12 months. New Xfinity mobile account required. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Xfinity post-pay internet required for Xfinity mobile. Additional devices extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of data usage. Offer ends 12/21/22.
If you have certain chronic conditions, such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The storm you've heard plenty about. 40 degrees and sunny in downtown Indy. Nothing on your radar. The low drops just below freezing tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. A winter storm warning is coming tomorrow afternoon. Meteorologist Michael Kosh at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says your priority needs to be being prepared.
Make sure your home is winter ready. Make sure you have supplies ahead of time and have a plan in case you lose power, because that could be definitely a big concern as well, losing power, especially with temperatures as cold as they're going to be.
He says those temperatures could be well below zero, as central Indiana will see winds around 50 miles per hour, a possible flash freeze, and some snow. Very few people in the Greenwood Park Mall shooter's life had any indication that he was going to commit a mass shooting, which he did in July. Chris Davis with what police have found out.
Months of investigating has turned up no manifesto. Police Chief Jim Eisen says the shooter's online activity never indicated a shooting was imminent. But his ex told cops
she expressed that it did not surprise her at all that he committed this crime.
She told them of his fascination with Nazi Germany, guns, and drugs. Cops haven't cracked his cell phone's pin, and his laptop was blown up. He left it in an oven with a butane bottle. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Biden at the White House today, where Biden confirmed the U.S. will be sending a Patriot air defense system to the country.
We're going to continue to strengthen Ukraine's ability to defend itself, particularly air defense, and that's why we're going to be providing Ukraine with Patriot missile battery and training your forces to be able to accurately use it.
Zelensky is supposed to speak with lawmakers on Capitol Hill tonight. 19 state attorney generals say there's going to be an enormous crisis if Title 42 is allowed to end, asking for the U.S. Supreme Court to keep the Trump-era immigration policy in place. Title 42 was supposed to end today, but the High Court issued a stay order Monday. To put it simply, it's been a difficult year for the Indianapolis Colts.
Been really put through the test this year with all the different changes. And
that's another change talking there. New Colts starting quarterback Nick Foles. He was named the starter today by interim head coach Jeff Saturday. The Colts played the Chargers Monday with their third different starting QB this season. And your stock report, the Dow was up 526 today to 33,376. The NASDAQ also up 162 to 10,709. And the S&P 500 rising 56 points to 3,878. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Diamonds. Everyone loves them. And at Chain Company, we've been experts in the diamond business since 1929. This means we know diamonds better than anyone else. At Chain Company, you can now choose between either a natural or lab-grown diamond. For your engagement ring, diamond studs, or diamond pendant. When it comes to our new lab-grown diamonds, we take the same approach we do for all of our diamonds and apply our same superior standards. We work with the best diamond vendors, people who've perfected the art and science of creating gorgeous diamonds in a lab, with the quality we're known for. Then, we hand-select only the best stones cut by the best diamond cutters. Plus, all our diamonds are eligible for our free lifetime warranty and upgrades. We'll show you our huge selection in every price range and help you select the perfect diamond. No matter what you choose, whether it's a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, you can be confident that with Shane Company, you're getting the most beautiful diamond.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
With traffic at 435, here's Matt Baer.
It's a crash on the west side, 10th east of Country Club Road at Tomahawk, and that's backing up the outbound lanes of West 10th Street. Also, southbound 465 stop and go traffic on the west side before 65 down to Crawfordsville Road. Inbound 65 jams at 29th to the north split, and on the east side, southbound 465 fully loaded, barely moving before 70 to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect light precipitation for the Thursday morning commute. Patchy drizzle by afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Thursday evening, rain will transition to snow, bringing heavy snow for the Thursday evening commute. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go at WIBC.com.
This is going to be a great adventure. This is going to be a great adventure in sound.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. 93 WIBC.
Guy Relford, Second Amendment attorney, being very generous with his time this afternoon. You were at a press conference with the Greenwood police at the town hall there today concerning the Greenwood Park Mall shooting July 17th. Your client is Eli Dickin, the hero that stopped the shooter. And I know Tony Kennett here filling in for Hammer has some questions for you. But just real quick, the press conference, we don't have a clear motive. Your theory, this is your theory and yours alone, is suicide by cop. We know he had a very troubled past, not making excuses for what he did, but
absolutely not.
He was, in and out of Child Protective Service reports since he was 10 or 11.
Right.
Again, not making excuses at all. He was interested in mass shootings, but didn't seem to advocate for them one way or the other.
Correct.
And he had incidents with his girlfriend, including and involving a gun, but that was never reported to police?
Correct. And I had not heard any of this until the press conference today, but Chief Eisen reported today that when they interviewed his ex-girlfriend, she said that he was frequently abusive physically with her, and that at one point had put a gun in her mouth, and obviously threatening to kill her, but that she never reported that incident to police and didn't even share it with others who might have reported it for her. So, what I don't want people to do is hear that story and think, aha, police had everything they needed to go find and arrest this guy, because
it was never reported.
They didn't know about that until after the shooting.
But there is a bit of an interjection that I have to throw in here, and this is what concerns me, because I'm looking at what Eisen stated here as far as the shooter's online activity. Again, we're not going to give any kind of publicity to the shooter by mentioning his name on air. That kind of publicity is what they seek. It says that his online activity was marked by his usernames and email addresses, and I know as his lawyer is only a limit of things that you can say, so I'll say it. I think that it goes past a long-held fascination with Nazi Germany. One of his Reddit usernames was the Greater German Reich. That's a little more to me. Just throwing this out here, that's a little more than just being a student of the Second World War. This is an individual who clearly, based on that kind of username, based on some of the emails and things, I'm not going to talk about those things like the Dark Will Rise, weird, creepy email names and things like that. That sends a bit of a red flag to me, and that matters in this case because someone reported his online activity, his username, to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And
is that right?
Yes, and you said that the FBI had tracked that IP address down to, you said, an apartment complex?
Yes, an entire apartment complex. The IP address was for basically anyone using that Wi-Fi. Theoretically, somebody parked in the parking lot using the Wi-Fi of the apartment complex matched that IP address. They couldn't match it to an apartment or to an individual.
So here's where I would, and just, for the sake of actually doing a little proactive work with the FBI here, is where I would suggest that it probably could not be a situation in which it's someone in the parking lot, because if you can show the username on Reddit going to certain, like I log on to Reddit on my phone in several different locations, or I'm logging on probably to that username more than once. If I can find that IP address going back to the same apartment complex more than once, probably not in the parking lot.
Yeah,
at that
fair
point,
enough.
In all seriousness,
but it's not like he was posting violent rhetoric.
No,
I mean obviously.
That's where it breaks down. If let's say I'm I'm the farthest thing from it, but let's hypothetically say that I'm a fan of Nazi Germany. I just think that Hitler's the greatest guy ever since Elvis, or before Elvis.
Out of quote context, coming to the MD Star article tomorrow. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. But let's just say I'm a fan of Hitler and Nazi Germany. And I have a username that reflects the fact that I'm a fan of Hitler and Nazi Germany. And I post stuff about the historical events around Nazi Germany.
That doesn't give the FBI the warrant to come and bother you.
What do they do with that? It's not enough to red flag me. In other words, come take my guns away from me. It's not enough to arrest me.
Even if you have trashy political opinions, that doesn't mean the FBI. I mean, we have people that are fans of Stalin and all of the crazy communist dictators
That's right.
And killed millions.
And we have a First Amendment that I value as much as the Second or any other. So in all seriousness, I did not hear anything at that news conference today. And that all that about tracking that IP address and all that was all completely news to me. In all seriousness, guys, I have no criticism on law enforcement on this. This is not one like the Parkland, Florida shooter who posted, "I want to be a professional school shooter," and the FBI was informed of that
and did nothing
and didn't
on
follow
purpose.
up.
Right.
Where local law enforcement went to this guy's, I think it was his foster parents' home, something like 56 times because he was threatening violence or being violent, and they didn't do anything about it. This is dramatically different. I really, truly, and I'm not necessarily a fan of all law enforcement. I'm a defense attorney. Law enforcement is often my enemy in the wild. I have no criticism of law enforcement here. I really don't.
Although mentioning reports here, you did. It is mentioned that CPS reports that a total of 12 Child Protective Service reports were filed about the shooter. Between the ages of 11 to 18, reports ranging of allegations from abuse to neglect to drug use to truancy.
Where he was the victim.
The victim, yeah, of course. And it's in these situations that I feel it's necessary. Once again, I think one of the undue criticisms of Governor Holcomb, of which there are few, was that he said that Indiana needed to focus so intently on mental health in the next year. And I think that this case is a very, very good example of such, especially making sure that Indiana's child services are up to snuff, that they are better prepared, and that we have the resources to again, I'm not expressing sympathy for the shooter. No. I am expressing sympathy for any child circumstances in which they are put in a situation of abuse or neglect or something of that nature, and that's horrible.
And the foster care system, I know personally for people, the foster care system is in disarray in the state, as well as the process to adopt a child from the foster care system. It is completely upside down in this case. And I don't want to get away from exactly what we're talking about here, but I do want to ask you another thing in terms of the video. That video that you saw in its entirety, none of that's been released to the public, right? We will never see that. Not that I want to see something like that. Especially for the victims, the first 3 victims. But will we ever see that? Will that ever be released to the public?
No, Chief Eisen. I don't mean to speak for him, but I can repeat what he said, which is the video is of people dying.
Yeah.
And out of respect for those people and their families, he's not going to release the video, and I support that 100%. Mm-hmm. I completely understand that.
And but by the way, where's Eli's gun?
It's in my trunk of my car right now. Is where it is.
Is it as scuffed up as you were telling us about?
Yeah,
is it worn down?
While I was there today, I asked the chief, Chief Eisen. I said, now that you're announcing the conclusion of your investigation, because until the investigation over, it's evidence, and I completely understand that. And he said, yeah, we can release that to you. We need something in writing from Eli to release it, because there's a gun, a holster, and a pocket knife, and a magazine, and 6 unspent rounds. And I called Eli, and he sent the GPD an email saying, release this to my lawyer, and so they released it to me. So I have the gun and the unspent ammo and holster and a flashlight on the gun and his pocket knife. And I'll get that back to him as soon as I possibly can.
And Tony Kennett here filling in for Hammer. You are a marksman as well. You've been in the military.
I was a cadet.
I'm sorry.
Stop. Yeah, I'm not gonna. No.
A cadet?
Just did cadet training. Yeah, was definitely not a soldier. But I have spent a lot of time at the range. I spent a lot of time with a lot of other cadets as very well ordered, and making sure that your marksmanship is precise, that your weapon is pristine, and as you can probably.
It sounds well regulated to me. That sounds well regulated.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, always the shiniest of shoes. And
but as somebody, when you learn about Eli, the hero in the situation,
my
not
mouth
having
was
any training,
my
and
mouth
it
was
takes
hanging
15
open. I've spent thousands of hours at the range. I've put untold amounts of money through the barrel of both of my carries, and I cannot imagine having made half the shots that this hero made. And that is the reason that I'm saying making 8 out of 10 shots at the ranges with the speed and precision that he did was incredible, and not just in the human sense, but I personally, and in my opinion, I see the hand of God here moving.
I agree, and I'll add to that, because I agree with Tony 1,000%. That one of the last classes I took this year is a Warrior Poet Society handgun class. It is a concealed carry class, and the last drill, and the instructor, fabulous, nationally known instructor named John Lovell. Last drill that we were going to do before the conclusion of the class, he said, now we're going to do what I call the Dickon drill. And he had a silhouette metal target set out 40 yards, and it was a team drill. He divided us up into 3 groups of 8, and the drill was each person at a time, one in each group, stood up, and they had to shoot from 40 yards away at this silhouette target, which is half of a human being essentially, and the first person had to hit it 8 times, shooting as many shots as it took to hit it 8 times before the second person came up to shoot. And whichever group got through the whole 8 people the fastest, each person hitting the target 8 times, would win the competition. And I was the first one to go in my group. And by the way, somebody in this process talked to the instructors and yelled at him, goes, hey, that's Eli Dickon's lawyer right there. You want to do a Dickon drill? And he was all excited. He goes, no way, you're his lawyer? I go,
wow.
Yeah.
So he didn't know.
He goes, first of all, is this accurate? I go, no, because I had lasered it, and I said, it's 42 yards. He goes, hold on. And he ran out and moved the target 6 feet farther back and ran back up. And I was the first one in my group to shoot. And I'm the gun guy, for crying out loud, right? I'm a professional instructor. I've done competitive shooting. It took me 12 shots to hit the damn thing 8 times. And that was with nobody shooting back, with screaming people not running across my sight picture, from, standing there, calmly, coolly shooting however
in a
I
very
wanted to shoot.
well-lit area, having all of the time to get your stance on the pistol perfectly correct. That's what gets me. When I practice a draw and I do my thumb over thumb, that's just how I've always done it. It takes a second to get in that situation, and if it's off, if I don't actually have it in the right way, shots are not just going slightly up or down; they're going to the left or right.
That's right.
That's a entirely different danger, and exactly. That's why my mouth was just agape. What an event.
It is, and when I'm sitting here chuckling, not at the fact that people lost their lives or anything. It
Absolutely
was
not.
At just the amazing performance under pressure that saved lives, and that's what's beautiful about it. We don't lose track of the fact that 3 innocent people lost their lives, and that's why nobody should be celebrating these events.
No,
but there are dozens of people who are alive and breathing today because Eli not only had the willingness and the capacity, but he had the bravery and then the ability to do what he did and save those lives that day. That's why I couldn't possibly be prouder to be his attorney and to speak on his behalf.
Not to mention the thanks towards his grandfather for actually teaching him how to properly shoot, how to carry and maintain a firearm. I mean, I think of my dad. I think of Mike out there in Henry County, who taught me very early on how to carry and maintain a firearm safely and how to be accurate, aim small, miss small, the old Patriot motto. And
which works.
That is more than anything. That's what I reflect on, is that's when the training becomes real.
Yep.
Give Eli our best from the show. Thank you for being so generous with your time. Merry Christmas, guy. And you and I will be doing a couple of shows next week, but have a great holiday.
Of shows right before Tony comes in and does more as well. So, no, a great team effort. And it's great to be here with Tony and you, as always.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Did you know the air you breathe in comes directly from your crawl space? Do you even know what's in your crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts. A dry, healthy crawl space protects the health of your family and your greatest asset, your home. Transform your problem crawl space into a dry, healthy, energy-saving crawl space today and call the real, local, family-owned crawl space experts. Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or SwaincoLLC.com.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. Copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
Hello, Richard Michaelis, President of Michaelis Corporation, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. For over 3 decades, the Michaelis team has helped Central Indiana families and businesses facing fire, water, and storm damage. And because emergencies don't take days off, neither do we. If the unexpected happens this holiday season, we're here for you with our 24/7 rapid disaster response service. Because life happens, water, storms, fire, and foundations, make it Michaelis. 844-FIX-INDY.
What separates high school sports from other athletic programs? We keep education in front of athletics. I'm Paul Knighty, Commissioner of the IHSAA, and I'm thrilled to introduce our new Assistant Commissioner, Janie Elmer, because I know she shares the same passion for education-based athletics.
That's right, Paul. As a former principal, teacher, and Hoosier student-athlete myself, I understand firsthand how high school sports provide a complete educational experience for students.
The real benefit of playing in the second classroom of high school sports isn't just about teams becoming better athletes.
It's about them becoming better people, building character and developing the habits they need to be successful adults in life. Accountability, teamwork, respect, perseverance. These are just some of the life lessons learned on the playing field.
It's good to have another passionate advocate for education-based athletics on the team. Welcome aboard, Assistant Commissioner Elmer.
This is the second classroom. This is education-based athletics. This is your IHSAA.
Want to save 25 to 75% on your diamond? Come see Pierce Jewelers in Carmel before you spend your hard-earned money somewhere else. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. Pierce Jewelers has a spectacular array of diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the very best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bear, what's up in traffic?
We're hitting Nigel West Side. It is a crash west 10th east of Country Club Road, and that has the outbound lanes backed up. Also a crash westbound 82nd Street approaching Dean, and we're backed up to Allison Point. Inbound 69 slows 96th Street to 82nd east side. Southbound 465 stop before 7274, and inbound 65 not moving 21st Street. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
38 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Show on 93 WIBC.
Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top tickets. Got them for you right now. If you're caller 9-239-9393, they'll be here Sunday, August 20th. Skinner and ZZ Top. Do we have just caller 9 right now? We'll give them away real quick here. Tony Kinnett's filling in. Yeah, we got time. Time for a quick booze news. Can we do that? Do we have? Go for it. No.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read booze news because it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze News, Booze News.
Yeah.
Time for booze news. Again, big thanks to Guy Relford for coming in. If you missed that conversation, go back and listen to it at WIBC.com. Tony Kinnett's actually filling in for Hammer. Real quick booze news here. Got about a minute. Headline from the Associated Press, Tony. Don't get drunk. Okay. UK government urges caution amid ambulance strike. Thousands of ambulance workers in the UK started a one-day strike today. The unions, it's up for 24 hours. It's a pay scale thing, right?
Gotcha.
The medical director of the National Health Service in England advising people not to get, quote, blind drunk. It's the season of parties, he said, pre-Christmas. So do enjoy yourself, but obviously don't get so drunk that you end up with an unnecessary visit to a hospital emergency room. You might not have anybody to take you there because of this strike going on in England right now.
I'm telling you, they should have come up with at least some good holiday-themed puns. Don't go too much a wassailing. Otherwise, your chestnuts will be roasting by the fire. I don't know. You can do something there that's clever.
You can.
To kind of tell everyone to be safe.
And trust me, I know a bunch of people from England. They're not going to pay attention or heed that warning at all. More Hammer and Nigel show coming up next.
Lots of new vibrant siding colors out there, and new siding can give your home a much-needed facelift. Moss Roofing offers James Hardie siding that comes with a 15-year warranty. It's low maintenance, and it will give your home the durability it deserves this winter and many winters to come. Not only will you get great curb appeal from James Hardie siding, you won't have to think about the siding on your home for a long, long time. And that's a pretty great gift for the holiday season. Moss Roofing is a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of serving Central Indiana. Moss Roofing experts offer residential and commercial roofing repairs and replacements, gutters, and insulation services. Call Moss Roofing today. 317-527-4393. 317-527-4393. Or visit mossroofing.com. That's MOSS. mossroofing.com. mossroofing.com.
The share it with a friend deal. Even if that friend is yourself. Your McDonald's, your rules.
$3 meals? Sounds 3 times as tasty. Choose from a crispy 6-piece McNuggets or juicy double cheeseburger and add small fries. All for only $3. Add any size soft drink for $1. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This holiday season, Diamonds Direct gives you the gift of 0% interest financing for 3 years on any purchase. With high prices and high interest rates everywhere else, Diamonds Direct is here with the incredible shopping experience you need. Our guaranteed best value prices will save you money. And with 0% interest, you can spread your payments over 3 years with no finance charge, period. And for this holiday season, we're showcasing an expanded selection of affordable and timeless holiday gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones. And if you're upgrading her diamond or getting engaged over the holidays, we have one of the largest diamond selections in America. All sizes and shapes, all cut for maximum brilliance, and all offered at our amazing direct importer, no middleman prices. Check out our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Buy now or come into the showroom. Let one of our experts guide you in finding the holiday gift that's at the top of their list. And enjoy 3 years zero interest financing on any holiday purchase. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, December 21st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
This is Chris Ambrose with B&W Plumbing and Heating. You can wait until the last minute to finish your Christmas shopping, but you shouldn't wait to have your furnace maintained. Maintenance on your furnace will improve efficiency, extend the life of your unit, and help identify small issues before they become major problems. Call now at 317-243-3581 to schedule your maintenance today. The B&W Plumbing and Heating family would like to take this time to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year.
B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes, more about the winter storm that will make its way to Indiana tomorrow. What police know so far about the Greenwood Park Mall shooter from July, and a year full of changes for the Colts continue. They changed the quarterback starting position again. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 in Indianapolis.
From the front lines to the Oval Office, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
All my appreciations from my heart, from the hearts of Ukrainians, all Ukrainians.
The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, thanking President Biden and the American people for the support that's helped defend his nation from 10 months of attacks by Russia. A war he's also emphasizing is not over as Congress works on more assistance.
President Biden told Zelensky Ukraine has inspired the world and says Russia is trying to use winter as a weapon. Zelensky has not made a foreign trip since the war started in February. He will address a joint meeting of Congress tonight as lawmakers consider a year-end spending bill that includes additional aid for Ukraine.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where a joint news conference is just underway.
As we head into the new year, it's important for the American people and for the world to hear directly from you, Mr. President, about Ukraine's fight and the need to continue to stand together through 2023.
President Biden just formally announcing the next round of U.S. military assistance, including a Patriot missile battery, considered a critical new tool for Ukraine's air defenses. It's already frigid and expected to get a lot colder in the Midwest.
Even for people who are used to this weather, it's just too cold to be outside. So right now here in Minneapolis, it's -3 degrees. And checking with our Fox Weather Forecast Center, it feels like -12 degrees.
Fox Weather's Mitty Hicks says a winter storm sweeping the nation gets ready to explode tomorrow into Friday, with the Arctic air behind it sinking far south, even Texas expecting sub-zero conditions. That storm disrupting holiday travel, expected to approach pre-pandemic levels.
According to the TSA, the busiest days for airline travel will be Thursday, December 22nd, and Friday, December 30.
Fox's Jonathan Seri, thousands of flights delayed today. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated.
WIBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
Hopefully you don't have to travel this holiday. 40 degrees, mostly sunny downtown with nothing on your radar. The low hits 30 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Indiana is getting closer to the winter storm that's supposed to hit Thursday afternoon. Parker Carlson reports it'll start off easy but get worse as the day moves on.
Light rain, snow, and wind gusts that reach over 50 miles per hour in central Indiana. That's what's in store for us Thursday, says Michael Kosh at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, including a flash freeze.
As the front moves through, temperatures will drop quickly. We could see what's called a flash freeze, where temperatures
temperatures drop 10 to 20 degrees in a matter of just a couple hours.
All those conditions combined can drop temperatures below zero until Sunday. And until then, he says, make a plan to stay warm. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
He'd been abandoned repeatedly and was cut off financially before attempting a mass shooting at the Greenwood Park Mall. Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen says the shooter did not leave a manifesto, but his online presence was ominous. Some of his emails and usernames:
The Dark Will Rise at gmail.com, xxjonathandark@gmail.com, and his Reddit usernames, the Greater German Reich and Grober Germanic. This is a political state name that Nazi Germany tried to establish in World War II.
While his ex-girlfriend told police she wasn't shocked when she heard about the shooting, Eisen said in a Wednesday update that she never indicated he would try a mass killing. 408 pounds of meth and 17 pounds of fentanyl are off the streets in an interstate drug bust. Local and federal police say that a dozen men were arrested last week for an operation to smuggle drugs from Nebraska to sell them in Indianapolis. DEA agents also took 28 guns, several of them being semi-automatic rifles, from the various stash houses the men kept around the north side of Indianapolis. The Colts have replaced Matt Ryan at quarterback again. Starting this Monday night against the LA Chargers is Nick Foles. Interim head coach Jeff Saturday says he hopes the entire team realizes this is a chance to win and be better.
From an internal perspective, I hope every guy pushes themselves each and every day. There's no back down to whoever's playing whatever position. You got to do your job.
Saturday says the team lacks explosive plays and the ability to seal the deal in the red zone. He hopes they have better luck come Monday Night Football. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
With traffic of the 5s at 5:05, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
All right, we are looking at eastbound 465 Harrison stop-and-go traffic before Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. On the east side, completely stopped in the southbound lanes of 465. Before 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Inbound 65 jams at 21st, and on the south side, eastbound 465 stop from Man Road over to Harding, then stop and go to Emerson Avenue. Crash Shadeland Avenue at 17th, another westbound 86. Second approaching Dean, that's a problem. Also 10th east of Country Club Road. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Right now, save big on a great night's sleep during Mattress Firm's Dream December sale. Get the lowest prices of the season and save up to 60% off select mattresses from top brands. Visit a store near you or mattressfirm.com today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect light precipitation for the Thursday morning commute. Patchy drizzle by afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Thursday evening, rain will transition to snow, bringing heavy snow for the Thursday evening commute. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal, filling in for Jason Hammer. The way I figure it, man, there's two things the government's really, really good at. One, best military in the world.
Absolutely.
They're so good at what they do. Military number one, and then a distant second. Actually, no, it's probably a close second. They're really good at spending our tax dollars.
Oh, they're so good at spending every cent that I have.
Oh, man. Have you taken a look at this $1.7 trillion year-end spending bill? They call it an omnibus. I don't know why. I don't even know. Omnibus just means several different things included.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this big amalgamation. It's like a Baptist potluck of spending bills.
So, I look at this thing, and we, coming up, have Casey Daniels from the Casey and Kendall Show. I'm sorry, the Kendall and Casey Show. My bad. Rob yells at me Rob yells at me when I get that wrong. She's going to come in and break down some of the unbelievable pork that's in this thing. $5 billion in earmarks for about like 3,200 projects. But let's talk about two of the main ones. Of course, at the top of the list, the spending in Ukraine.
Of course, yeah. That's all that we exist to do anymore is fund the Ukrainian war effort.
As we have Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, in the United States.
Flown in on an American plane. We went and we picked him up. We Ubered him over here.
He better leave a good tip.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't want to hear, with how we ferry everyone around in these fancy jets, I don't ever want to hear anything about us, about you and I having to reduce our carbon footprint ever again.
Please. The hypocrisy. I mean, we could do an entire hour on the utter sheer hypocrisy.
Well, speaking of hypocrisy, he's getting ready to address Congress again on our tax dollars.
And ask for more money on top of the $45 billion that has been earmarked in this spending bill. $45 billion in military and economic aid for Ukraine and the conflict with Russia.
Oh, but it's not just Ukraine that we're spending money on. We're spending $410 million, quote, for enhanced border security, end quote, in Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, and other places.
Those don't sound like southern border towns in the United States to me.
We can't even spend $4 million on our own border, but we've got $410 million lying around to protect Jordan?
Boy, we are sending money hand over fist to protect other nations' borders.
While hands and fists are busy swimming across, the rivers in Texas to get into the United States.
I mean, look, by Joe Biden's own admission, we're projected to oversee 2.6 million border crossers and illegal aliens arriving in the United States around the Mexico border next year.
Yeah, but border crossings in Egypt, that's got to stop.
We've got to, get that $400 million right now to Jordan. So, I mean, look at this, and we'll talk more about this here in just a second, but if those projections pan out, it's almost 7 million border crossers and illegal aliens that have been apprehended at the border. Those are just the ones that have been apprehended since 2021 to 2023 under Biden. I mean, that's like a couple mil short of New York City.
I mean, these bills, these omnibus spending bills, honestly remind me of at the end of the semester, if an administrator was doing some kind of an Amazon run for a lot of the teachers, and you'd say, hey, let me know whatever it is that you need, just throw something in there. By the end of that week, some of the stuff that would be getting thrown on that Amazon list, like an inflatable beer koozie and like a Japanese eye wash station, and it's like, who's throwing this on there? That's exactly what's going on here, only here it's a virtue.
And one of the complaints is that there's not enough time to read exactly everything that's in this bill. There's like 4,000 pages, but it goes back to the old adage there. You've got to vote for the bill. You've got to pass the bill
to find out what's in it.
To find out what's in it. And Republicans, including Senator Todd Young, will be voting for this thing through.
Which is again a very poor decision. I don't have anything else to say other than that it looks like we're just capitulating with the Democrats just because. But then we're going to get around to the next election cycle, and these exact same individuals who voted for this bill are going to complain about spending.
So meanwhile, we have this porous border, and the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, says they seized enough fentanyl to kill every person living in the United States and then some. They said this week. This was yesterday. 379 million doses of fentanyl were confiscated by the feds at the beginning of the year. The current population of the United States is about 332 million. This is the kind of stuff. Like, I'm not sure if people are taking fentanyl knowing they're taking it, or I bet most of the deaths, most of these overdoses, they don't know they're taking it. They think they're buying some little pill of Xanax on the black market. It ends up being laced with fentanyl, and boom, you're done.
So, I'm not really sure. I'm going to be very honest with you. I have absolutely zero understanding about what it comes to taking fentanyl and how people are choosing, what it is that they're going after, what kind of drug they're attempting to take. And the only thing at the end of the day is, you actually see Ann Milgram, administrator of the DEA, saying that fentanyl is killing Americans at record rates. And yet I don't actually see Ann getting up there saying, look, we need to secure the United States border to quit.
Nobody said it. Yeah. No. Nobody in these positions of power, from Mayorkas to the DEA administrator to anybody, has said, yeah, the problem is with the border.
No.
The problem is with China manufacturing this and coming through the southern border and killing millions and millions of Americans over the years.
And that's not an overstatement. Milgram says many of them don't even realize they're taking she said, quote, the deadliest drug our country has ever seen, end quote. Yet that's not enough to suggest that we might want to, seal up the border a little bit, just, duct tape it a little bit tighter there.
Here's the thing, though. Biden has admitted that there's going to be an increase in border crossings when Title 42 ends, and is actually asking the Supreme Court. This is big news yesterday, because the Supreme Court delayed. The administration basically is asking the Supreme Court for more time to phase out those protocols put in place when COVID hit to keep out and immediately deport illegal immigrants. So while he wants Title 42 to end, he's asking for a little bit more time, which is an admission basically that, yeah, we're going to see a bunch of people pour into this country.
And there's no policy in place to actually shore up the United States immigration system. It's an absolute mess. It's a complete
There's
wreck.
no plan.
No.
There's no plan. You see the footage from El Paso, a warehouse meant for maybe 1,000 illegals, packed in like sardines, 6,000 at a time. They have no infrastructure. They don't have a plan in place. We saw the training video from the DHS. It says, yeah, we don't have the resources to process these people. They basically get a ticket and say, yeah, show back up at this date, and that's it. They are free to go.
Well, a number of individuals are actually saying that they've been spoken to by no one since they've come into the country. They just waltzed right in, as we're actually playing a little bit later on the show. But something that's really struck me at this point is how insane it is that we even have individuals who are in the two different departments that work with our border have completely different objectives. The federal government can't even go down there to assess the situation because it's such an absolute bowl of spaghetti.
14,000 migrants reportedly waiting in Tijuana to rush that southern border as soon as that Title 42 ends. Unbelievable. All right, we'll get a look at traffic here with Matt Bear.
All right, Nigel, looking at the east side, southbound 465 jammed before 70 down 274. South side eastbound 465 stop traffic from Kentucky Avenue over to the White River, then stop and go over to Emerson. Northwest side southbound 465 stop and go from 71st past 65 northbound. Also heavy from 86th Street up to 865. And it's a crash westbound 82nd Street approaching Dean. Traffic sponsored by Fisher Homes. Discover your dream home with confidence with Fisher Homes. With exclusive below market rates and one-time complimentary refinancing, you are sure to save thousands. Visit FisherHomes.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
38 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
It would be rude for us to invite ourselves to your house. Instead, we're inviting you to ours for Christmas. It's the best in radio, theater, and music. Starring Hammer and Nigel in It's a Wonderful Life. Craig Garrison in A Christmas Carol. And 'Tis the Season with Mike Aher. And enjoy music all day Christmas Day. Spend your holidays with us starting at 9 a.m. Christmas Eve morning on your home for Christmas. 93 WIBC.
If today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you're about to do today? As time marches on, the inescapable movement of the clock can change our perspective on life and our daily purpose. We all get there someday. In recent years, families I work with often ask, "What happens to me, Brian, if something happens to you or you decide to retire?" Every day I ask myself, does this still feel like a purpose that I look forward to, or is this starting to feel like a job? This is Brian Singer with Singer Financial. I feel blessed to still love what I do, but someday my purpose might shift to playing pickleball 24/7. CNBC reports that 73% of financial advisors lack a formal succession plan. That means that nearly 3 out of 4 advisors may be contemplating their own retirement with no transitional support for the clients who may have trusted them for years or decades. Fiduciary advisors put clients' best interests first. At Singer Financial, that means knowing how the individuals, couples, and families we work with will be taken care of for many more years beyond my retirement, unexpected disability, or death. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. I'm excited to share that Singer Financial is now a part of Howard Bailey Financial, an Indiana-based retirement planning firm. We believe our integration with the Howard Bailey team is a giant step forward in our mission to be the last financial team you would ever need or want. Howard Bailey is a growing firm with a youthful, energetic founder and a cutting-edge planning process designed to help you transition into a work-optional lifestyle someday. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a discovery visit and talk about your someday. If you're ready to plan for your best retirement, we should get together.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're locally owned and committed to putting the customer and the community first. For the month of December, hire Hope Plumbing to install a new tankless water heater in your home, and they'll donate $100 to a local charity of your choice. Let's help spread holiday cheer. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE. or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com. Hope Plumbing is your local honest plumbers.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance. And in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Are you still looking for the perfect holiday gift? You know what I'm talking about. The one that gets passed around the room and you hear a lot of oohs and ahs? Then come to Shane Company. We put so much love and care into the fine jewelry we create. Our classic styles are true treasures. With our expertise and attention to detail, they can be handed down to the next generation and look as beautiful as the day you bought them. They're a great investment. We have diamond tennis bracelets, classic solitaire pendants, and styles with cultured pearls. Our diamond stud earrings make a wonderful holiday gift because they'll never lose that amazing sparkle. We have a wide range of shapes and carat weights to choose from, so it'll be easy to find studs in your price range. We also offer studs in a variety of colorful gemstones. And with Shane Company's generous upgrade policy, you can upgrade your studs at any time. Visit us in-store or shop online and enjoy free 2-day shipping. It's never too late to give a gift they'll treasure forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
My name is Nigel. Tony Kennett filling in for Hammer. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Time for the side piece with Casey Daniels from the Kendall and Casey Show. I was driving in this morning and my mouth was agape when you were talking about this $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, I don't know why I'm always shocked by these things.
You're surprised.
But you, Casey, you were listing off all the pork, all the crazy earmarks that are in this thing, and where to begin? I'm assuming at the top of the list is money for Ukraine.
Yeah, $47 billion for Ukraine.
Jeez.
But the bill also authorizes a Ukrainian Independence Park in Washington, D.C.
No, that's what we need.
So there's going to be a park there.
How many millions of dollars is that going to waste?
That's part of the $47 billion.
Just as a side note on the side piece, Zelensky from Ukraine in Washington, meeting with Joe Biden today, probably asking for more money.
Yeah, well, he's trying to convince everybody to vote yes on this bill so that he can get his $47 billion. But part of the $1.7 trillion.
But so far, you haven't really said anything that shocked me yet.
Oh, really?
The park thing was like, okay, yeah, there's going to be parks and buildings and stuff. But some of the other stuff, I was like, eh?
Okay, so how about, is this shocking to you? $200 million for gender programs in Pakistan for a gender equality fund.
Yes.
How about...
That shocks me, but it doesn't. It shouldn't, but it does.
How about $335 million to prepare for an influenza a pandemic, including the use of surveillance tools.
See, no, that's scary. That's China type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there a possibility you have the flu? Put your face up to this little radar gun, and we'll let you come in and buy groceries if you're negative. Remember when we had it? Were you here when we had to do that?
No.
For COVID?
Well, I know that there were a lot of restaurants you had to get your temperature taken before you could go in.
They had a thing, and it's not as severe as what you're describing there in this package, but down in the lobby, for 3 or 4 months, March, April, May, June 2020, we couldn't go through the second floor. We had to come down into the lobby and stick our face in this iPad, and it took your temperature. And if your temperature was, 97 or below,
you had to leave.
No, you could go to work.
Oh, okay.
If it was like 101 or something or above, no, that's not. They're not letting you in. Call your manager immediately.
So if you wanted to be call off that day, you just put a heating pad on your face before you get scanned.
Yeah, just go behind. Just go to the side and rub your forehead real vigorously like that. And so that's crazy. No, that's wild.
Also in this bill, $410 million towards the border security for Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, and Oman.
There was stuff like this in another spending bill in March. This, again, doesn't shock me. They're protecting Jordan's borders,
right?
But they don't care that there's going to be when all is said and done, some 6.9 million border crossers have come into the country since Biden took office. That one infuriates me.
Absolutely, and the thing is, it's like there's a drainage, and we just keep sending more buckets down to collect more water instead of actually stopping the hole from draining. Also in this bill, $65 million for a federal building named for Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, wonderful.
$3.6 million for the Michelle Obama Trail. $3 million for the LGBTQ Museum in New York City. There's going to be, did you know that there is a Office of Diversity and Inclusion in the House of Representatives? They're getting $26 million.
So basically, there are 3,200 different projects totaling about $5 billion in this thing that they're going to be voting for, that a lot of Republicans are all excited to vote for, mainly because of the Ukraine spending.
Well, Todd Young said yes on it. $286 million in Title X funding, which funds Planned Parenthood.
Taxpayer-funded money. Taxpayer-funded abortions.
Here's a couple interesting things. 25 post offices are going to be renamed. That's in this bill.
Oh, cool.
There's also the word salmon is used 48 times in the bill.
Salmon is in the fish?
As in the fish. $65 million going for salmon. $3 million going for bee-friendly highways. Bee, as in the bug. Bee-friendly highways. So don't tell me you want to defend democracy and that but at the same time, you want to put all this stuff in a bill that gets voted on at the end of the year. It's like the trash can,
Well, speaking of defending...
dump it all in there.
Defending the democracy, the bill gives $212 million to prosecute January 6th prisoners. That's additional. That's in addition to what they've already spent. So...
$11 billion to the FBI.
Oh, hello, yeah.
And we just found out that the FBI was spending our money to censor via Twitter.
They were flagging jokes on Twitter about the election in 2020.
Over 4,000 pages long. Rob did the math, and I think you would have to read for 2.5 days nonstop.
Wait a minute, how many pages is this bill?
It's 4,155 pages.
Oh, man.
And they released it at 1:30 at night and then expect them all to vote on it within 48 hours.
Well,
you can't even read through it in that amount of time.
You have to pass the bill to actually understand what's in the bill. Come on. You know how Washington works. Are you in the holiday spirit? Do you and your husband and your college-aged student get together at night on the couch and watch holiday movies?
You know what? I'm really debating on whether I should get Paramount Plus so that we can stream the Top Gun Maverick, because when that video of Tom Cruise was released of him jumping out of the plane, promoting his next movie, Mission Impossible.
Yes, I saw that.
Thanking people for going to see Top Gun Maverick.
That was wild.
Yeah, wishing everybody happy holidays. It did make me want to see the movie. Do you have Paramount Plus?
Well, I have Paramount Plus, but I purchased Maverick. It was on demand on Amazon Prime. You could either rent it or they gave you the option to purchase it for $20.
Really?
I watched it for
Right now
Screw
you
it.
can do that?
Yeah.
Because it comes out streaming tomorrow. I didn't know you could buy it.
No, it was streaming. I think it was streaming, but it wasn't for free. You could either rent it or you could buy it. I think I spent $20 or $25. I love the movie. I've watched it 10 times so
seriously?
far since the summer, since it was available.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was an option.
So I have Paramount Plus. Yeah, I have Paramount Plus, and mainly because of Yellowstone. We love Yellowstone, but I didn't know that. I wasn't aware that it was going to be available via streaming if you own that.
Well, I wonder.
app.
I don't know what the price is if you stream it. I hope it's not $20, but well, that's a Christmas present in itself.
Just let me ask you this real quick. Just because a movie, a holiday movie, came out in the 2000s, does it mean it can't be a Christmas classic?
Because it came out
because
just
it came
20
out,
years ago?
Right.
No.
I'm going to give you a list of movies from that time that'll put you in the, you and your family in the holiday spirit. And actually, somebody made a list. On top of that list is Elf 2003. That's a classic, isn't it? Is it not?
Great movie.
And it just shows you how old I'm getting when 2003 Elf is.
Have I ever told you I met Will Ferrell?
I did too.
He was at a Notre Dame football game. I think it was a USC Notre Dame football game. And he was out in the parking lot just,
he's a USC guy.
Drinking some beer like everybody else. And people were asking for his autographs. And somebody gave him the DVD of Elf to sign.
Yeah.
And he signed it. And I looked at him and I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "How you doing?" And I was like, yeah.
I'm like total Ron Burgundy.
Just hit on me. That's right.
He turned it Ron Burgundy. I met him in Austin. He was doing a press junket for Semi-Pro. And, it's one of those things where you just walk in there and ask 2 questions. And then
he
that's
didn't want to be there.
Well, I walked in and I had like this blazer on with a T-shirt on under it. And I remember he goes, "You DJs dress all alike." And I go, "I know, hip, right?" He goes, "Oh, very hip." Like he was kind of Ron Burgundy again. But I remember meeting him. He did a liner for me.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
So Elf, I mean, that's a classic, right? Even though it's 2003, Elf is a classic.
I love Zooey Deschanel's singing in that movie.
How about a couple of these others? Bad Santa's a classic. No, you can do without the vulgarity.
Yeah. It's okay.
Love Actually, is that a must watch for you and the college age daughter every year?
When that one comes on, I stop for it. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one.
Hey, have a great Christmas. Okay, have an awesome Christmas. I'll see you next week. You're gonna be around next week. I think me and you are the only ones in this building next week.
You and me, huh?
So,
All right.
it's you and I.
We'll keep the place together and running.
But have a great holiday.
Yeah,
have
you too.
fun, and we'll see you next week.
All
Casey
right.
Daniels here on the side piece. Coming up next, we're going to speak with Emma Jo Morris. She broke the Hunter Biden laptop story for the New York Post. She now works for Breitbart as political editor, and she's got some new details, more information on how the government, the FBI, was involved in the suppression of that laptop, what they knew, when they knew it, and how they were working in concert with social media outlets to suppress and censor. That's next, right after the news. 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You should stay inside and find a way to stay warm. Sunny and 40 degrees downtown, all clear on the radar. The low is down to 30 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:31. Most of the state will be under a winter storm warning starting tomorrow. Snows and flash freezing could happen in the afternoon, but the combination of that and strong wind Friday will be dangerous.
We could see wind gusts above 50 miles an hour, and that's going to make any snow that we have blow and cause visibilities near zero time. So basically blizzard-like conditions at times.
Michael Kosh with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says those wind speeds will mostly be seen in central Indiana, but the rest of the state needs to be prepared too. The northwest corner of Indiana will be under a blizzard warning tomorrow. Abandonment was one of the themes police found when investigating the Greenwood Park Mall shooter. Chris Davis reports on an update police gave today.
The shooter quit his job in May of 2022 and had no income.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen.
In June of this year, the shooter's brother removed his name from the apartment lease, and the shooter was living in the apartment alone. During the same time frame, the shooter's father cut off all financial assistance and even had the shooter's cell phone turned off.
But Jonathan Sapirman left no real clues. he was going to commit the shooting, nor did he leave a message as to why. Online searches by police found a fascination with Nazi Germany and discussions about mass shootings, but no indications that he was planning one. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
President Joe Biden is praising the president of Ukraine as he visited the White House today.
This visit to Washington, your first trip outside Ukraine since February, comes as President Putin is escalating his attacks, his brutal attacks.
The visit comes as Russia continues its assault on Ukraine. Biden said it's been 300 days since Russia invaded the country. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Matt Ryan is headed back to the bench. Interim head coach Jeff Saturday has picked Nick Foles as the new starter. Saturday says Ryan is not happy about the move, but he's handled the decision with grace.
His leadership since I've been here has been second to none. His demand on others and ask things of himself. And it's just, it's unfortunate when you're not playing to the level that you want to play to.
Saturday says his mission is to build the best team he can each week. With traffic at 5:33, here's Matt Bear.
All right, this is just happening. Looking at eastbound 70 far east side here at Post Road, there is a crash, and it is all over the interstate right now. I can definitely tell 2 center lanes are currently blocked. Traffic is moving by this crash on the right and on the left, but we're doing it carefully because this is the thing. Looking at the east side, southbound 465, stop traffic before 70, stop and go down to Arlington Avenue. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go from 31 over to Emerson. And then a crash westbound 82nd approaching Dean Road. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect light precipitation for the Thursday morning commute. Patchy drizzle by afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. Thursday evening, rain will transition to snow, bringing heavy snow for the Thursday evening commute. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is out. Tony Kinnan is here. So, big Twitter dump this week. The corporate media completely ignored it. I mean, the headlines are huge. The corporate media basically ignoring the Twitter file drop that exposes the FBI colluding with Twitter. We're going to go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on Emma Jo Morris, a political editor from Breitbart. She's been covering this from the beginning. And when I say the beginning, I mean the real beginning. She worked for the New York Post and broke the Hunter Biden from hell laptop story. Emma Jo, welcome back. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be back with you.
Before we get an update on what Twitter and what the latest file dump was, can you take me back to the craziness of your career? I know we kind of did this before, but tell me specifically, was it Giuliani that gave you Hunter Biden's laptop, or was it a copy of the hard drive, or are you allowed to say exactly how you came across this piece of information?
Yes, of course. It's all public, and I'm happy to talk about it. And yes, craziness of my career is a good way to put it. So Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani was the first person aside from the computer repair shop guy who originally had it. Rudy was the first person to get it from him. He reached out to Rudy's lawyer, and that was how they got it. And Rudy opens it up and sees that it's full of documents pertaining to the Chinese Communist Party and China in general. And so he brings in Steve Bannon, who is obviously, the big China expert, especially on the right. He is, very focused on the CCP in his work. So Rudy brings in Bannon. And the way I got brought in was through Bannon. So I was friends with a guy who would go on to work with Steve Bannon. He wasn't working for Steve when I met him. He was just a guy in New York who I was friends with, not working in politics or media. And he had a hobby of politics and eventually went on to go work for Steve. So Steve Bannon gets brought in by Rudy. This is about 4 years after I had made this friendship. I did not know Steve Bannon. But yeah, Rudy brings in Steve Bannon. They're talking about getting this out to the press. And my friend said, hey, I have this friend who I've been friends with for years. She's now the editor at the New York Post. She's going to do a good job with it. Call her. And then I get a call from Steve Bannon saying, hi, this is Steve Bannon. I have a story that's going to change your life.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here we are.
And so, did you have to spray down the laptop? I would have taken I would have emptied a thing of Clorox bleach wipes before you opened that thing up.
Emma. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I wish I had some sort of like child filter on the thing when I was going through it. It's pretty raunchy. But yeah, it was intense. I mean, it was really intense. Obviously, there's a lot on there. A lot of it not relevant to the news. I wasn't interested in just humiliating Hunter Biden. I wasn't interested in Hunter Biden actually at all. I was interested in Joe Biden. And if you look at my reporting, it's only pertinent to Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. I don't talk about anything having to do with solely Hunter, let alone his personal life, his sexual proclivity.
Right.
None of that is of any concern to me, and I don't think it's of any concern to the American people. I don't think it's newsworthy. Obviously, it's salacious. Maybe you could be interested in it, but that's not, I was wading through all of that to get to the stuff that I thought was relevant to the election, which is what I was reporting for.
Absolutely. We're on with Emma Jo Morris, political editor over at Breitbart, formerly of the New York Post, earning acclaim for the laptop from hell scoops regarding Hunter Biden. And one of the things that kind of hits me whenever I'm doing a lot of political research and writing stories in education is that I usually come across a piece of evidence that's just so damning. As I'm reading it, it's like your eyes go wide, almost like in Ratatouille when the French guy's reading the will. I don't know. It's like his eyes get wider as he's reading it. It gets worse. What was that moment for you when reading this evidence, this information, when you were looking at this laptop?
Oh, God, there are a few of those moments. But I think, so the 10% for the big guy thing is funny because, if your listeners aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, that was the infamous line that really made, that really stuck with the public, I think.
The 10% for the big guy? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
okay.
We were reporting on a deal with the Chinese Energy Corporation, which is, basically a subsidiary of the Chinese Communist Party that Hunter was doing a deal with. And it's going through the breakdown of equity for the deal. And it outlines all the people who are getting basically a cut. And then it says at the bottom, 10% held by H for the big guy.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it and I was on the phone with my editor-in-chief, and we're looking at it, and she goes, oh, my God. And I was I didn't even – it took me a second, and she was like, who's the big guy? And all of a sudden she said that, and my heart sunk, and that was that moment for me where I was like,
yeah, I bet it did.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this is killer.
And so I remember the last time we talked to you, and we definitely want to get to why this latest Twitter dump from Elon Musk and some of these internal documents that have been released are relevant from this week. But I'm really glad that you mentioned that you weren't really interested in all the gross pictures and the sexual stuff with Hunter Biden. What's really at stake here, what people don't understand, and why this laptop is really important, is exactly what is on it involving Joe Biden, him being compromised by Russia, by China, maybe even by Ukraine. And I want to know if you think that because this information was suppressed, that, in your opinion, I know you're a reporter, you have to kind of be objective about this thing, but could the election have swayed the other way in 2020 if we had known what all was on this before the story and the New York Post got banned off social media?
Yeah, well, that's it. It really metastasized into a scandal that I wasn't expecting. I thought I was going and reporting about Joe Biden and his financial interests in various countries, and it turned into that plus, a censorship conspiracy of historic proportions. So that was weird. But
yeah,
it's listen. we got, the point of this is to expose corruption.
Yes.
I thought I was exposing one element of corruption. It turned out to be exposing a number of elements of corruption. And albeit it's definitely had its political ramifications, which, it's hard to summon the rage when you think about what happened and who was involved in this and how totally unjust and disgusting and what a betrayal it was and all of that and how it impacted the election, which it absolutely did. But, as a journalist, there's something to be said for being interested in exposing corruption, and if that is my, I'm Canadian, if that's my raison d'etre, if that's my purpose in my career, then I've done that. And unfortunately, it has come at the expense, perhaps, of a totally fair election. I don't believe that it was. I really don't believe that it was because of this, obviously, because of this. I'm not talking about ballot, whatever. I'm talking about censorship. And yeah, I definitely think that skewed the election 100%. And there's polling that shows that. But, I did my job.
You did, and you did it well. Well, let's, if we can, I want to take a quick break here because I want to leave plenty of time to talk about what the internal documents that were released on Twitter this week had to say in terms of the FBI working with the social media platform. Can you stick around for just a quick second, Emma?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Emma Jo Morris, a political editor for Breitbart. We'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars, $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30. Stop smoking 8 p.m. Or January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
At Franciscan Health, we're inspired by what moves you and how you move through life. So if you're suffering from joint pain and want to get back to an active lifestyle, Franciscan Health Mooresville and Carmel, home to the Center for Hip and Knee Surgery, is your best move. Our world-renowned orthopedic surgeons offer the latest advancements in total joint replacement, including outpatient surgery. If you're ready to get moving with less pain, request an appointment at centerforhipandkneesurgery.org.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask how to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, December 21st, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for plenty of advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and foundation, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Save big on a great night's sleep during Mattress Firm's Dream Simber sale. Get the lowest prices of the season and save up to 60% off select mattresses from top brands.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
All right, Nigel, if you are heading out to Greenfield tonight, look out. Crash eastbound 70 East Side, Post Road blocking 2 right lanes. Traffic stopped to 465. And yes, this is slowing down northbound 465 on the southeast side from 74 up to 70. And that ramp especially heavy right now to eastbound 70. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic 21st Street to the north split. And eastbound 465 northeast side stops Westfield Boulevard to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Whether you choose a mined or lab-grown diamond, let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that symbol that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
38 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. Okay, we're back for a second segment here. Emma Jo Morris, political editor for Breitbart. She was working for the New York Post at the time, breaking the Hunter Biden laptop story. And the first time we talked to you a few weeks ago, Elon Musk had just put out through Matt Taibbi, a journalist, internal Twitter documents and emails kind of showing what we all knew to be true, that there was definitely suppression and censorship of your story in the Hunter Biden laptop. But since then, since we've talked, Emma Jo, you've probably learned a lot more about what was going on inside Twitter and how they were working with the federal government to suppress this. What did we learn this week, and what has surprised you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this week was explosive. This was, in my opinion, the worst revelations yet for Twitter and for the U.S. government, because it showed that Twitter was really not a private company at all. Twitter was almost like a proxy or an extension of the federal government and of the security state. Why do I say that? Well, we learned that not only was the FBI working with Twitter as 2 separate entities working together to guide censorship of the New York Post and of legitimate and true reporting from the New York Post, but also we learned that Twitter was a hive of former agents. Twitter had up to like 80 agents employed, and they even had their own Slack channel. It was enough of a group of FBI alumni that they had like a little clique inside of Twitter. And, you know, who were these people? These were not paper pushers and interns, okay? This was Jim Baker, who I think we spoke about last time we were on together. Deputy counsel of the FBI. So imagine this. You have Yoel Roth, who is one of the chief censors at Twitter. He's the head of trust and safety. He's approached by the FBI. What do you do when you're approached by the FBI? You go to your lawyer. Okay. Yoel Roth goes to his lawyer. Who's his lawyer? FBI. So imagine that dynamic. Imagine the big happy family that starts to form, which is what we got a glimpse of in this reporting, right? Is they're all working together, they're all pals. And, this is so corrupt because a company like Twitter, which is a platform for news, a platform for speech, sharing ideas, sharing information, obviously has 300 million users, but also of those users, they're members with outsized influence, like, it's the main platform preferred by editors, right? So you have this company that's in charge of all of this communication, all of this dissemination of information there. They should have, if we had a healthy and functioning situation, they should have an adversarial professional relationship with the FBI, right? Like, the FBI should not have any sort of hand or any sort of friendship with a company like that.
Well, that's what we were led to believe for so many years, right? That Apple and that Twitter and all of these Silicon Valley companies, Google, were working directly against the federal government, local governments. If they were asking them for private information, they were supposed to tell them no and all of this stuff. And
such a farce. Such a farce. Not only is that not true, but they were employing half the bureau. You know, so what we learned exactly is that it was actually the opposite of how they were portraying themselves. I mean, I can't speak for Apple, but we're talking about Twitter. It was the opposite of any of that. They have no respect for the First Amendment, no respect for the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. Keep in mind, Twitter also has functions like DMs where you're talking privately. You have a right in the United States of America to talk privately without the eyes of the federal government on those conversations. They took no respect for any of that, no respect for any of those functions and that role, and they just essentially tossed the keys to the FBI. It was so disgusting, so egregious. And then you learn that the FBI was really like, you know, the journalist who reported this Twitter tranche used the word priming. The FBI was priming people who worked at Twitter like Yoel Roth. But listen, I don't even buy that, because somebody in his position would have been aware of the hiring patterns of the company and would have been aware of who he's working with. I mean, at least Jim Baker, right? So it's like Twitter as a company wasn't just like a 5-year-old led into an ice cream truck. You know what I mean? They were totly cooperating.
Emma Jo Morris, where can people find more of your work?
Yeah, I'm at Breitbart, my byline at Breitbart. I'm on Twitter, Emma Jo NYC. And that's a whole different conversation. Listen, the media, that is something else that we'll need to book another time for.
Happy holidays. Hope to have you back on the show real soon. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. We'll be right back.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more.